WhatsApp experiencing outage.
Yep,
of course.
I've noticed that with Instagram. Yep.
Who is?
Holy fucking shit.
WhatsApp,
Facebook.
Instagram, Facebook.
Facebook is?
Wasn't that due to like certificates?
Well, yeah, they're about to go
expiring?
into a hearing.
Watch, if Reddit goes down today, today's the first day of Moass.
Facebook's fucking tanking.
I think 25th Amendment is going to start going popular real soon.
Completely agree.
The president of the free world sat there and tweeted that. It's begun, you guys. It's begun.
Yeah, you know, he hasn't got a phone in there actually making tweets like Trump did. He's got somebody else that's doing his tweets.
So did he really tweet that out?
It was through a mediary, so I trust this guy. It's Walter Bloomberg. He has a great track record.
Too.
Can you post a picture of it or just
I got
something in DD on that?
Yep.
I think we're gonna rip.
Thank you, bud.
It's in DD and theories, and boys,
Yeah, we're
with that
looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go.
You wanna go, dude? We'll fucking go right now, dog. Drama, dude.
I think let's go in like 35 minutes. How about that?
Fisticuffs?
I challenge you to a duel. Slap you with my glove.
Cartoon style, baby.
Okay, so that was like a legitimate tweet.
Yeah,
You just said it on television.
FX Hedges just said it, just retweeted it, that Biden says he can't guarantee the U.S. will not raise the debt ceiling.
Bruh, what are we entering? How is this fucking reality right now, for real?
Is this real life?
Oh, shit.
God damn, NVIDIA. Down under 200, dude.
Is this just fantasy?
NVIDIA's down 200.
Down below 200. It's usually right around 120 or 220.
Okay, I was getting my buy, but I'd get my buy finger ready there if it was down 200.
Is Facebook down?
Yeah.
Marquez Brownlee just said, I wonder how hard Twitter usage spikes when Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp all go down at once.
Whoa.
That's true. I'm gonna tweet, hello everyone from Facebook.
Panic.
Yo,
Panic.
Calls on Twitter.
Anarchy. Panic.
Twitter's down 6% alone.
Algorithm.
Algorithm trading. Panic.
Rip.
Let's see, well, HYG just went up 2 cents because, you know, that makes sense. Seeing as how the bonds are, Biden just basically said the bonds, there's no guarantee that they're going to hold any value. Check JNK.
You have Janet Yellen saying the same shit. Did you guys watch that fucking
We might
hearing?
be doing something here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're ripping. We're about to rip.
Yeah.
Calm.
They basically read off the same fucking script.
Bro, it sounds like a script, yeah. Hold on. Where is... Okay, I'll play this.
They wouldn't be that incompetent, would they?
Preparing the masses for the fucking Moasses.
I like the quote that Biden was not going to negotiate with public. It was towards the end of his conversation.
Why does he need to tweet that? He can't. There's never any questions answered to the press, so you know, don't even need to tweet that.
Not unless they're on the predefined list.
It's all part of the plan. Down 5.5% today.
Hey, so I'm gonna drop a draft of a video that I was making this weekend, but then honestly, I feel like I'm gonna run out of time, so I'm just gonna send you guys the draft anyway. But what I did was I took parts of the Inside Job and just tried to find like parallels with what's going on right now, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Is that a movie?
So yeah, if you've never seen the Inside Job, I definitely recommend you watch it.
Oh, I saw that video.
Isn't that what?
It's pretty good.
Isn't that with Jason Statham? Or is that the Italian
Matt-
Job with Jason Statham?
No,
You're
it's
talking
Matt,
about the Italian Job.
it's Matt
with
Damon.
Inside
Denzel.
Job is a documentary.
What
Did you guys
platform is it
see
on?
Deviant Theories.
the Federal
Oh,
Reserve?
Where can you watch the movie?
Oh, it's on YouTube for free.
Yeah, Inside Job. It's about
The Federal Reserve plans as early as this week to launch a review of potential benefits and risks of issuing a U.S. digital currency.
Oh! Pringle Critton said that it was going to be 10 years. I told him within 2.
Oh, so the Inside Job is a documentary, not like a movie?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
it's a
bad.
movie.
Sorry.
It's a documentary.
No, you're good.
I don't.
I was
watch
thinking of
many
a
movies.
Denzel movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there we go. That's who it is. Inside
Oh
Job
my
is with
God.
Denzel.
Benefits of having digital currency. What happens when your money becomes worthless? Oh, we switched to a different kind of money.
Yeah, exactly. Just rip off all the value from one of them, and as soon as you completely dumpster fired it, you just move on.
Oh, Facebook is down.
Everything's down.
Well, I deactivated my Facebook.
Yeah, my whole list is red.
Dude, someone said a while ago, and it was probably a
Twitter's
Super
up.
Stonk TV, that said once you see like random shit like outages starting to pop up out of nowhere, that's when you know it's about to fucking do something.
Tinder's still online.
Yo,
That's all that
Instagram's down.
matters.
Twitter's
Instagram's
still
down.
up.
Facebook owes Instagram.
Why are they down?
I don't know.
When you guys were saying they were down, I thought you were talking about the stock market. You're talking about the app, like the web.
Yeah.
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 Is OnlyFans still up?
That has redundancy. It's never going on.
Is
They
Christian
would
Mingle
never
still
take
up?
down Gundam style.
Is Pornhub up? That's all that really matters.
Dude,
Well,
we
if
might
it's
have to
down,
make
we
it-
know that the SEC will be doing their job.
It's all about the X videos, man.
Dude, there's too many other websites. You put too much faith in the SEC.
Maybe like RedTube or something.
All right, listen to fucking Janet Yellen fucking spew this bullshit out of her mouth. Something's wrong with that lady, by the way. I don't like the way she looks.
Whoa, what are
She
we
got hit with a bag
doing?
of doorknobs.
I don't like.
We might be doing something here. This is the curse of watching the 1 second chart, is you see one massive move, which is actually just like 6 cents. And it gets you going.
If all of those are down at the same time, that's an infrastructure thing. That means a lot more. Things
Yeah, it's a
are down.
CDN or something.
Crypto is being pumped up like crazy right now.
What's Cloudflare doing?
That Cat Striker posted a screen cap. Says the static CDNs are down for Facebook and WhatsApp.
Yeah.
AMC might have a breakout here.
Yeah, 1230 is what I'm looking at.
No, I'm thinking went above the pennant, but
I turned off the stream earlier as a meme, and only half
It's
the
about,
viewers
like-
have come back.
Well, maybe like 2 minutes. We're like a half hour ahead of what we were last Thursday, and it's tracking almost like perfectly. See a
So it's like a
big
fractal.
candle.
There we go.
Ooh.
Going on here.
Yeah, like up to 3742 or 3750-ish area, and then back down a little bit, and then it's just gonna rip
Amy's
to
trying. She's trying.
3770. And
So
then
she just paused.
Nah, like the level 2s are getting stacked like they were. It every time it does, we start to see movement. It's crazy.
Alright, I need to put level 2s.
Would this be considered consolidation?
One more time?
Would the AMC trading movement right now, the past one, like hour or something, be considered consolidation?
I think we're setting up for a move here.
Wait,
I
does
mean,
my mic
We
stuff?
broke out a pendant.
If we rip right now, that'd be so cool because my calls would really appreciate it.
Yeah, we should see like a solid 40 minutes of upward movement.
Looks like a sperm tail.
Hot.
Maybe Biden finally bought into like an AMC position. So it's finally in
That'd
his
be
interest.
awesome. That was a big volume spike. Look at it a second.
Yo, anyone got eyes on Nancy Pelosi? Like,
He's kind of hot, not gonna lie.
dude.
Ew. I just gagged him now.
Bruh.
One's mom now.
Whoa, what are we doing?
She has a great 401k and she's close to death. Lots of benefits.
Let's not say that about a fucking senator or whoever, whatever the fuck position she's in.
That's crazy.
Figure the house.
37.43.
Oh yes, let's talk about the mortality status of one of the fucking lead figures of the government on a live stream.
Speaker of my house.
She has more adrenochrome in her freezer than she has Ben and Jerry's.
Oh shit.
See you guys
It's
in
funny
Guantanamo.
because it's true.
See you on Twitch.
See you on Guantanamo.
See
I
you
think
on
she's
Twitch.
already there.
I like money.
I like totals.
Dude,
Movie Idiocracy.
Oh yeah,
I've heard of it, yeah.
it's a classic.
Watch it tonight.
Dude.
The movie? I thought that was a documentary.
Basically,
Yeah,
Turn your mic game down, whoever that was. You're a little loud.
is that me or someone else?
Burp.
I don't know, but it literally sounded like someone just like tongue fucked my eardrum.
Dude, at this point, like for me, it's starting to become less about the money and more about just being fucking right.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I mean, the money is
Still
cool
want my
too.
money.
Yeah.
Hut moving up. Oh, what is that? 50 cents?
Alright, chat, real quick. If you're enjoying the stream, consider leaving a like. You don't have to. Don't do it because I said anything. If you think it genuinely deserves a like, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike and go fuck yourself while you're going out the door. If you want to see more of this shit show, subscribe. If you want to pay for my fucking lunch, feel free to fucking donate via the Cash App in the bottom left-hand part of the screen. Because I'm stupid with my finances. Also, I was gonna tweet this last night, but I didn't. I'd rather announce it here first. I'm going for 100,000 fucking subscribers before January 1st. It's quite the ambition. I'm gonna make it fucking happen. After that, we're going for 1 million by June of next year. Buckle up! It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Got a lot of interesting plans that are starting to come to fruition. There's a lot of What me and the rest of the crew are going to be doing is something that YouTube has never seen before, and I think everybody's going to love it, and I think it's going to really empower retail, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fucking fun. The whole entire point of me starting this, besides getting my DD out there, is to remind people you don't need to be some suited up douchebag who got his fucking degree or diploma or this or that at some Ivy League university. If you have the determination and the perseverance, you can fucking do this shit. It's not rocket science. All of the wording in this, failure to delivers, self-clearing entity, continuous net settlement, all this shit is entirely intentionally worded to confuse you and make you and me think that we're not allowed to get into this stuff, that for some reason, because of the nomenclature of the industry, there is no reason that you, the retail investor, should ever be a part of this, and that's entirely not fucking true. So, there's a lot of really fucking cool stuff coming down the pipeline. It's gonna be a good goddamn fucking year. I can tell you that fucking much. Fuck. So anywho, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for fucking being here. Thanks for being a part of the journey. I'm gonna join back into Discord. It looks like we might be having a rippy.
Significant over the
Philadelphia.
past month.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, no,
Baltimore.
I've been in a pretty quiet town, but we've had like 2 or 3 shootings in the last 3 weeks. Like it's.
And you have that weird shit going on like planes.
Okay,
Where
let's
it's just
watch it a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I'm all about that type of conversation and having like intellectual debate or whatever. I got to be careful with being live.
Right. Yep. I got you.
No, you're good. You're good.
Sorry about that, Astro.
Yes, there will be a lot more to this channel after Moass. There will be, even before that, there's a lot more coming.
Speaking of pipe, did you lay any pipe this weekend?
No, I was out.
G's
I was
pushing.
dead.
You can do it, little buddy.
I think DoorDash is down too. I can't fucking. I went to have water delivered. That shit wasn't loading.
DoorDash is down. How am I gonna eat tonight?
Dude, somebody ordered fucking this huge 24-pack of water, and it was like out in the boonies. It was like a 15-minute drive into the country of nowhere. And like I had to take a picture and then get back into the city before I could send it to say I delivered it.
Wow.
And all I wanted was that one 24-pack of water. Like, you don't want like chips and like a soda or something?
How much did that cost them to have it delivered?
Oh, I got paid $10. I don't know
That's
how much the
onyx.
delivery was, but
That was expensive.
Yeah, because like a 24-pack of water is like $5 at Sam's.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to do
but then you
DoorDash,
started.
and
Sorry.
this one fucking the largest contractor in Chicago, he lives on like Lakeshore Drive. This guy's a fucking multi-millionaire, and he had me buy $200 worth of eye drops because
What the fuck?
yeah, like on DoorDash. Because he's like, I'm like, which ones do you want?
You
There's like
fucking
10 of
delivering to
them.
Snoop Dogg? What?
All of them.
And he literally says all of them. I don't remember which one I like.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And he gave me $40, like tip, so 20%. It was great. I'm like, and he was like yelling at me and shit. I'm like, you gotta tell me which one you want. There's like 80 of them. And he's like, just get all of them.
Keep talking about eye drops. It's moving.
Get them all!
Guys were
Come on,
itching and
bitch!
really bad.
Visine!
Supply chains are low!
Fucking-
I need all the drops of the eyes!
What the fuck?
I can't cry! I had surgery.
You ever got UV
Say
burns on
lady.
your irises, you'd know it's freaking miserable.
This is true.
It's smoky up here.
Yeah, guy was a douche, but totally would deliver to him again.
Do you want liquid or the ointment?
Oh my god.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it? All of them.
This looks a little familiar, doesn't it? This is the 1 second chart. This is the 90-minute chart. Quite the similarity, eh? Ay, ay, ay.
Get a little
baby.
Come on, bitch!
Come on. Oh, that look. Come on.
Oh.
Come on. You know you want it.
Oh yeah. Be my hero, Amy.
Great song.
Oh man, this looks nasty. Oof.
Giggity.
Yeah, I think DoorDash is putting a lot of people's perspectives on what they value their time at.
In a good
Because I
way
know
or
that,
bad
like,
way.
Yeah, I haven't
I'm a
drank any
block-
water since fucking Friday night.
Are you
Having
okay?
that bottle in a convenient bottle already bottled up is so important to drinking enough.
If anybody in the Sarasota area wants to make a couple bones, I'm looking to have nicotine and dihydrogen monoxide delivered to me.
Hydrogen monoxide.
Water.
That's actually hilarious, bro. You're like working backwards. You're like, well, the solution's not available, so I'm just gonna make my own. And watch, it probably might work.
Astro, you need to find a kid named Chad Melios in Sarasota. Thank me later.
Who?
His name's Chad Melios. Melios.
Chad Melios?
Yeah, crop circle system. Thank me later. I'll send you his info. I didn't know you were in the same city as him.
Am I gonna get laid?
Kind of sounds
No, hey, I swear to God, like, you guys are so smart, and I love listening to you every day, and he's, like, the smartest person I know. So, at, like, 16, he redid J.P. Chase Morgan's security system.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'd love to
And
talk
his
to him.
name's
That's
Chad?
crazy.
Is he Russian?
No.
Сука,
like
блядь, навышка. Hey, ловишь, bro. What the fuck?
He loves their smoking a weed.
That's Italian, bitch!
That's Italian, bro.
That was Italian.
Сука, блядь.
You sexist bastard.
Strojno.
The точно.
Навышки.
But
Astro,
I
come
could
party in
be-
Orlando. DM me.
The extent of my Russian is all based off
Lamau, okay, Super Mario.
Mine's off of Overwatch.
What? Who talks Russian in
AMC reads
Overwatch?
more with welcome to the
Zarya.
jungle and through the
Zarya,
fire and
yeah, dude.
flames turned
Oh,
up to
really?
11.
Acknowledged is the точно.
Oh.
Video
didn't know
games
that.
teach me shit, bro.
I learned Russian
And his
from
name
Call of
is-
Duty Modern Warfare 2.
His name's Chad, though. I can't get over why it's Chad. Chad way or the highway, brother.
No, Chad, translate to Sergey. That was really
Sergey
bad. Fuck.
Ikonov.
Nikolai Belinsky.
Blunt and the pancake?
We're probably
Cigar and waffle?
we're probably confusing the algo so bad right now.
Bong in the Blitz.
All right. I think one thing that needs to be pointed out is the fact that the
Come on, bitch!
Yeah, come on, bitch. Exactly my point. The market's down overall, but AMC and GME are fucking spiking right now.
BBIG had a nice little run up too, 9 cents.
And my long dated $100 puts on the SPY are up 15% still. That's it.
And that's up 50 cents.
I just meant in the last few minutes. My bad.
Ditto.
Whoa, Shake Shack just took a shit. What happened?
What?
It looks like someone got out of their Shake Shack position. Jesus Christ.
They started calling them smoothies, probably.
Someone dumped all their Nikola today too.
Smoke a pancake?
What's the crepe one? Is it crepe and a cigarette?
Sounds disgusting.
I've had one.
Bong in a blitz?
Crepes are great. Cigarettes are great, but together, no.
No, not inside, like one after the other.
Still, no.
It's an Austin Powers quote.
Oh, fuck. No.
Yeah, man. It's all from Austin Powers.
Someone dumped their workhorse today too. That's clearly obvious.
Oh, was it Sea Dog?
Crepe in a pipe.
Oh, crepe in a pipe.
Kraken?
Bong and a blitz.
D in the B.
The D Lord.
Great rock and roll band featuring our favorite member of Guns N' Roses. Apparently the show has already started.
Potato in your ass.
Facebook and Instagram are still down. Jesus. That's a lot of money for Facebook to be losing.
They get money by the hour?
Well, I mean,
or per user.
Think about it. Like if
Ad revenue, man.
Yeah, if users can't get on, then.
Well, I guess the negative publicity of what's happening right now would outweigh ad revenue.
Oh shit! Hey, just so we don't forget, 20 minutes until Ken's on.
20 minutes until Moon.
Is anyone streaming, Ken?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll just stream it.
I'll throw it up on the live stream.
The fuck's he even gonna talk about?
Yeah, who knows?
They're gonna end up shorting the shit out of anything that he's short to be, so he could be like, yeah, no, it's just horrible. You know, they're just horrible companies. Look at the way that they're doing right now. Every time anybody comes on, they always short it so that way when they show the price on screen, it always looks like it's way further down than what it should be.
Or it's going to be the exact opposite, where they're going to cover it all because everyone's going to be watching TV and not on their computers.
Yeah, I'll be streaming the interview.
You guys let me know if this is working, like sound and everything.
Okay, what's going on?
This might be a run coming.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah, it's good, Kurt.
Jesus Christ. Blame it on COVID.
Wait, can you guys see the screen though?
Yeah, I can hear it. It's the most
Yeah.
ridiculous
Can you
shit I've
guys
ever
see
heard.
it though?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little latency, but it's good.
Cool.
When are they gonna get these fucking supply chains back on?
2022.
Really?
That's what they just said. Fucking ridiculous, dude.
I better do DoorDash for seeds. Just have them get them all.
Dude.
I'll give them. I'll give them 25%.
I just want to know how Slash didn't break his leg right here. Watch this shit. The fuck was that, dude? Bro! How the fuck?
Why don't you just say China?
China.
She's.
Oh, this might fucking run here.
Get ready for war. That's what she just said.
I'd like to take a moment to recognize the fact that the 1 minute chart looks exactly like the fucking 90-minute chart.
I just posted in Dedean Theories that when the world goes to shit and alcohol is crazy expensive, you can see I've got a warehouse full of alcohol that we can all meet together and hook up.
Oh yeah.
And I'll pass out supplies.
And hook up?
that.
Sounds amazing.
Question mark?
Yeah, maybe we will get this run at 10 o'clock. It's looking pretty good.
Astro, are you still streaming on YouTube?
Yeah. How is that a question?
What was that?
Turn on the live stream and find out, bitch!
Yes.
No, I looked. I couldn't find you. That's why I was asking.
The fuck? Eh?
So I had to actually click on one of your videos to then where I could see.
If you go to the
live.
channel page, it should be there. I'm also live on Twitch.
Do you need more water storage?
It's just twitch.tv/Astro that guy.
This is true.
I find that things run a little bit better on Twitch.
Twitch is so much better for live streams.
I got it, guys. Thanks. Sorry to be disruptive.
Fuck you.
Oh no, dude, don't worry about it. Astro's like, fuck off.
Moving forward on TP.
All right, so no one's gonna say like how big of a milf this lady is.
She's right.
It looks too much like Gollum for me.
Yeah, it's the cheekbones for me, man. I don't know about that.
All I heard was boning cheeks. What?
You're paying me any day.
Yeah. Check out ATER. Does it look like it's about to just like explode?
Hey, is China being more progressive with that pronoun thing? Xi Jinping? Is that his, her? Is that their pronoun?
All right, chat. We started a little prediction opportunity for everybody in the Twitch chat thing as to if Kenny will shit the bed or not during the interview. Go to twitch.tv/AstroThatGuy and you can bet your channel points on if he does or not. Can one of the mods spam the Twitch channel?
Unusual Whales just said Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp down, Google reporting outages, Amazon reporting outages.
Oh fuck, let's go. We're getting attacked.
What do you want us to spam?
Just the link to the Twitch channel.
Hey, isn't it funny how the outage like 011
What time is Kenny Boy going to be on?
Place,
12
and
minutes.
it's all about the internet outages and everything, how that would affect the market.
Hey, I just want to throw this out there. Let's say Discord goes down. What do we do? Do we have a backup plan?
YouTube.
What's everyone's number?
YouTube.
Gangnam
Come to
Style.
my house. Everybody come to my house.
Come to my house.
Yeah, let me just get my private jet. I'll be there.
And not undermine his popularity within the party.
I think the issue is
If Discord went down, that'd be wild.
And that's the thing to keep in mind when looking at.
Well, Kurt, you don't live too far from me. I'm in Indianapolis, so we could meet up halfway in Lafayette.
The elimination of
113 Schooner Street.
focused
Be there.
on the people, not the elite. And his focus isn't as much on pleasing the elite and the entrepreneurs. But
And by the way, my phone number is 867-5309.
size entrepreneurs. For example, in many ways, as proud as I think China is of the capabilities.
Not financial advice.
Alibaba and what they've been able to build.
Let's go,
and
GameStop. Come
Tencent
on,
and
GameStop.
Meituan and all those
Is it
others,
309 or is it
businesses in the sense that
309?
They sometimes were engaged in practices that kept many of the smaller companies down.
Depends on if you're calling internationally or not.
In China is really coming from the private sector and these small and medium-sized enterprises. They need to be able to grow in order to ensure
After
that the
Moass,
economy
can we
continues
buy
to grow. And I
Pluto?
think we'll see a continued focus on
Dude, there's a
some
ninth
of the
planet now.
practices from some of the larger firms.
Wasn't there a
including
guy that
technology
took like
firms. But
a grid of the
also,
moon and started selling
there's also
plots?
a political aspect to it and some of the control that's there, but also how
Yes.
they can
Because
energize
there was no law against
the
it.
small and medium.
Like nobody.
Elon?
I always learn so much from you whenever you're on.
Bro, you can sell virtual
anybody-
real estate. So yeah, I believe it.
Executive director.
If anybody needs my number, it's 281-330-8004. Mike Jones might pick up though.
Mike Jones!
Who?
But call it anyways.
Someone should, and then just relay it back on the call.
Man, I hope this thing absolutely rips while he's on.
It looks like it is, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, let it please do. Please do.
What network is he going to be on?
Bloomberg.
Oh, so it's not like Charles Payne. I was going to say, if it's Charles Payne, then yeah, that would be amazing because he could be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Kenny. What? What? Do you see those insane boom boom candles?"
Nah, he's on
Oh,
show.
what? You're gonna cry like a little bitch now? Get off my
I could
shoulder.
just see Charles Payne, dude. Charles Payne's I know I've heard a lot of people say like, "Oh, you know, he's media, he's a shill, whatever. He's just trying to get clicks," and maybe that's true. But he plays that part so fucking well.
I believe it.
But notice how after Charles Payne started getting all these clicks and all these people watching because he was for the apes, then all of a sudden Melissa Lee was like, "Oh, naked shorts," and then now she's running all AMC stuff because if you have a pro AMC person, you're going to get a lot of views on your midday streams.
Yeah, I mean, if your narrative stops working, you have to create the counter narrative so that everyone's against that one, and then the public can go towards the one that you're against. It's a way to capture both audiences.
Well, the apes are a golden ticket.
Create a fake enemy that everyone can rally behind.
Enemy of my enemy is my friend.
So that we can do all we can to navigate through this
All the better.
COVID-19 pandemic.
Watch Bloomberg Surveillance to learn how to look at markets, how to look at trends, and how to look younger.
Which is why we like BlackRock. The BlackRock.
Bro, this guy
the
right
enemy.
here is favorite news reporter ever. The guy on the left.
What, skinny top?
Sad thing is that if BlackRock does consolidate like these other market makers, I don't know. I don't know if that's better or worse.
Yo, Kurt, did that guy really just say the older you get, the fatter it gets?
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
there's no on your video.
The guy you were, maybe it was a commercial or something, but he came to Paul guy was like, the older you get, the fatter it
Which means the
gets.
Supreme Court began its new term today. And our Supreme Court reporter Greg Storr is here to take us through what we can expect. So some pretty high.
I'm not ignoring you. I didn't understand what you said over them talking.
Yeah, it's about things
Yeah, I
like
know.
abortion and guns and religion. Some real cultural
What's he
divides
talking
before
to?
the court this term. The biggest of which is going to
Older
be
you get, the
abortion.
lower
because
it
the
hangs.
court,
Oh my
God. Could lead to overturning Roe v. Wade, the landmark decision that legalized abortion nationwide. It's all happening amid declining public approval for the court. The court is shifting course just because it has changed its members and now has a more conservative makeup.
Yeah, it certainly is a different court in terms of who's sitting up there on the bench. But I guess a lot of us are waiting to find out where some of that takes us. For example, Amy Coney Barrett, the newest justice.
Yeah, and she and the court as a whole was somewhat restrained last term. They did have a lot of small conservative results, but not any of the big blockbusters. That may change this term. The abortion case in particular was a real eye-opener because it wasn't the case the court had to take, and it really takes direct aim at Roe v. Wade. It's not clear which justices wanted to hear that case. And more likely than not, she will be a part of that.
So as I understand it, just take me through that one, Greg. The question of whether Roe versus Wade is still good law, whether she would overcome or not, is very much in the case. But the court, I assume, could decide in the case without deciding that ultimate question.
It could. So the case before them is about a Mississippi law that bans abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Now that law is really, really hard to square with the 1992 Planned Parenthood versus Casey decision that reaffirmed Roe and essentially said viability is the line. When the fetus can live outside the woman, roughly 20, 22 weeks, something like that, at that point, up until that point, the state cannot impose significant restrictions. Obviously, the Mississippi law is a significant restriction before viability. So it's hard to see how the court can't at least weaken those precedents if it's going to uphold the Mississippi law.
And finally, Greg, just quickly, give us an update on Justice Kavanaugh, who reported as positive for COVID-19. I understand he was not in the court today. Is it interfering with the court's proceedings at all?
Not in terms of doing its business. Yeah, so they were back in the courtroom today for the first time in 19 months. Justice Barrett on the bench for the first time since she's been a justice. And there was one seat empty, that was Justice Kavanaugh's, and he piped in when it was his turn or when he wanted to with questions by telephone. He'll be there, we're told, this week. We don't know about the future. Last word is that he does not have symptoms. He has been fully vaccinated. All the justices have been. So it may just be a little blip. We'll just have to wait to see.
Oh, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much. That's Bloomberg Supreme Court reporter Greg Storr. Coming up, Balance of Power continues on Bloomberg Radio. In our second hour, we'll talk to Myron Brilliant of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce about U.S. trade policy toward China. And this is Balance of Power.
What did you think at the low point of the Greek economic debacle? What were you thinking about to make Greece recover as it has?
Well, Tom, we took over in July 2019 with a very clear mandate to make the economy grow again. We were hit by the pandemic, but we still managed to implement very significant reforms, and I think we used the fiscal room that was available to us to support the real economy. We're very encouraged by the recent data. The economy grew 16.2% in the second quarter of this year. We revised our forecasts upward to 5.9%, and this may be a pessimistic forecast for 2021. We see lots of interest for foreign direct investment by American companies, European companies. We're making big progress in digitizing the state. We have a very ambitious green transition plan. And overall, I think the mood in the country after 10 years of crisis has significantly changed.
Any mistakes you've made or failures that you can talk about so that people could feel you're not just a superhuman?
People ask that question as if the only challenge is at work. Challenges come in a lot of different packages.
I'm Mark Crumpton with Bloomberg's First Word News. President Biden is warning that the United States government is at risk of reaching the legal limit on its debt in 2 weeks. He's blaming Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, who in a letter today told the president that he should pressure Democratic leaders in Congress to raise the debt limit on their own because the GOP will not cooperate. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer plans another vote as early as today on a plan to suspend the debt ceiling. Infectious disease specialist Dr. Anthony Fauci says the U.S. is turning the corner on the latest coronavirus surge. Still, Dr. Fauci told ABC News that more people need to get vaccinated in to keep infections on a declining trend. He says the key risk is the 70 million eligible people in the U.S. who haven't gotten a shot. BioNTech CEO says a new COVID-19 vaccine formula will likely be needed by mid-next year to protect against future virus mutations. That's according to the Financial Times. Ur Shaheen says the variants currently in circulation
I just realized I've been muted.
More infectious, but weren't enough to undermine the efficacy of current vaccines, though booster shots will be necessary. And Taiwan is set to ease some COVID-19 controls. The cabinet spokesperson says measures for some recreational venues, religious activities, or dining should be further eased.
Okay, how high can Shiba go? That's the real question.
Guidance. Starting tomorrow, once local case numbers drop.
Yeah, when Kenny goes on, let's all be relatively quiet.
When there's seaside or on mountains.
Thank you.
Global news 24 hours a day on air and on Bloomberg.
Are vulgarities still okay?
Yeah, like reactions and shit are good, but just try to keep anything that isn't relevant to it on the low.
I just feel like a...
Yo, Validus, my man, thank you. With the 5 gifted fucking subs.
3 words or less.
Clever and entertaining.
It is 1 p.m. in New York, 6 p.m. in London, and 1 a.m. in Hong Kong. I'm Alex Steele. Welcome to Bloomberg Markets. Happy Monday, everybody. Here are the top stories we're following for you from all around the world. We got an equity sell-off underway here. U.S. stocks tumbling with tech stocks leading the losses. We're going to dive deeper into this volatility.
Is Coinbase down for anybody else?
Plus, a 7-year high in WTI oil. OPEC Plus agreeing to maintain its schedule of gradual monthly production increases.
It's working for me. It's on the East Coast or West Coast.
And you will hear from Ken Griffin founder and CEO of
Bro, I
Outage,
just
and return to our offices and pay for order flow. But let's get to the really fun market action here, guys. You're looking at
Look at
NASDAQ
that
100 off by
speechless.
almost 3
wild.
percentage points at this moment. A lot of the heaviness is going to come from, say, Facebook, for example. You got a hearing on the Hill about a whistleblower. Also, Moderna gets whacked again down below its 100-day moving average. That's leading tech lower. In the S&P, though, you're also seeing that down 1.6%. Most every sector is in the red, with the exception of utilities, teeny tiny gain, and energy, a large gain up 2 percentage points. But how much can this divergence really take hold? Yes, you have Brent at 81, but at some point you're going to get a little oversold. We'll break that down in just a second. Also, taking a look at the 10-year Treasury, 148 is where we sit. At one point, we had a rise of about 4 basis points in the Treasury market. That's come down just over 1 basis point. But I don't really feel the fear in the Treasury market or in gold, for example, that you would think if you see a sell-off like this in the equity market. So let's get more on that. Positioning, technical levels. Katie Stockton, managing partner and founder of Fairlead Strategy, joins us now. Hey, Katie, walk me through what we're seeing within the S&P. Where's the downside? Where is the cap to the sell-off?
It's really the first significant
Coinbase is down for me too on the East Coast.
Date for the major indices. We've had losses of short-term momentum, but this one indeed is affecting the intermediate-term gauges. Things like our
I'm on Coinbase right now.
It's
working pretty well.
have turned negative.
Facebook's still down.
Downside momentum is really the worst.
I'm using Facebook.
Off of that March 2020 low, so it is a significant loss of momentum. And it's really
Yeah, I haven't had any
driven
Facebook
by
problems
the
all day.
FANG plus M stocks, or the mega cap technology stocks, that really have such a huge footprint in the major indices. And while they pull back, it's very difficult, of course, for the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ 100 to get out of its own way on the downside as well. So we have seen some breakdowns. Of course, the 50-day moving averages were taken out a couple of weeks ago, and now we're seeing breakdowns below what we call cloud-based support. These are minor support levels, but the more minor breakdowns that we see, the more of a setback we have for the major indices. For the S&P 500 from here, we're looking for a test of former resistance from May. That's right around 42.38. It's not too far gone from current levels after today's decline, but that would be a natural place for an oversold bounce to develop.
Okay, so then FANG's getting hit at the same time. I did mention energy sort of really outperforming, and I wonder how overextended is the S&P energy sector right now?
We are overweight energy, and we believe that it has seen an intermediate-term turnaround, and it would be very encouraging if crude oil or WTI can get it decisively above $77 per barrel, because that's
You're a total babe.
Level on the chart. However,
I know.
from a short-term perspective, a lot of those names are now showing signs of exhaustion, meaning that they should consolidate for a couple of weeks, digest their gains, and that should ultimately refresh these intermediate-term turnarounds. We're seeing some signs of exhaustion from those trusty DeMark indicators that we use, and they tend to be counter-trend in nature, but we're not looking for a big pullback there.
But if there's some digestion here for energy, does that mean that the sell-off in FANGs kind of takes a break also?
You know, it could do that. We don't have any signs of downside exhaustion in kind in the FANG plus M stocks. We have been looking for those in technology, and they're really just not widespread as of yet. We don't have any affirmation of the oversold conditions to suggest that we're going to get a big bounce or relief rally here. Anything can happen. What we'll be watching are the market internal measures for any kind of oversold extremes. During the pullbacks throughout the year, we had some pretty major extremes generated very quickly, and this pullback has been different in that we haven't gotten those extremes in breadth or sentiment. So if we were to see that, that would be more indicative of some kind of tradable low, and that's what we'll keep an eye on the VIX as one example for.
All right, let's talk about the VIX for a second. 2442, accurately reflecting what you're seeing in the equity market?
Right. Well, when we see the VIX trending higher, of course, that means that the major indices tend to be trending lower. It's a sort of contrarian indicator, if you will. And when we see the VIX clear 25, we start to think about perhaps entering a higher volatility cycle or regime. The market has been in a low volatility cycle, at least since March, if not earlier than that, based on the VIX, and it has been range bound really since then. So a breakout from that range above 25 would suggest that we're into a more difficult environment for trading. It's not overtly bearish for the major indices, but it would suggest we'll see more of these types of swings that are more difficult to navigate. And we've already seen a breakout of that nature by the NASDAQ VIX or the VXN.
So to that point, what I highlighted earlier is that in terms of, say, gold in the 10-year, in the dollar, we're not really getting kind of the flight to safety that I might have expected when you see the NASDAQ down almost 3 percentage points. What do you make of what the 10-year is not doing?
You know, it's been kind of wild, right? Because you would expect consumer staples, REITs, utilities to have done better than they have recently in this kind of tape. But of course, that influence from 10-year treasury yields or treasury yields more broadly, they've really run up and they've come into some resistance now. So now they're stalling. And, you know, folks still aren't really dipping their toes into those more defensive sectors in earnest yet. But we think it's probably just a matter of time before that actually does happen. Once folks realize that treasury yields are not off to the races here, they do face resistance around 153. Ultimately, we expect them to clear that, but we don't look for the same kind of up move that we've just seen. That steep up move would be unusual to see persist.
Katie, so good to get your perspective on a day like today. Really appreciate it. It's been too long. Sadie Stockton of Fairlead Strategies. So let's go with crude for a little bit here. Prices much higher. OPEC Plus agreeing to continue its monthly gradual increase in oil production. You have WTI hitting its highest level since 2014. I missed this last rally. I was home on maternity leave, and now I get to finally experience it. But you can see how we were oversold over the RSI indicator above 70. We were oversold for a while before we kind of broke below that, in 2015. Now we're touching that oversold level. Now Javier Blas, Bloomberg's new and Bloomberg News chief energy correspondent, joins us now. Javier, I'll get your title right. At what point, what oil price does OPEC Plus now get nervous?
Well, I think that at current levels of $80 a barrel, we are beginning to see the particularly in emerging countries places like India, Bangladesh, and similar. So
Elizabeth Warren calls her SEC investigation
a lot higher than current levels, because that is going to affect further demand, particularly going into 2022.
So where is the supply response? And I wonder if that's why we're seeing this powerful rally, say, in WTI.
Dude, where's the gas
need
bag,
to see
bro?
higher prices here in the U.S. for a real shale response. The demand destruction is one thing, and supply response is quite another.
Yeah, the supply.
Whoa, what the fuck?
How dare you?
Oh, they pulled the cord.
What?
They don't want us to see Ken Griffin.
They don't want us to see. They pulled.
What
the
fuck?
way?
Oh, hold on.
Pay your goddamn bills, Kirk.
If you reopen it incognito, you can still watch.
Hold on.
Let's see if anybody else is freelancing.
Incognito is working, so hold on.
Together with Intel,
All right, I'm back.
In that respect,
for data center infrastructures.
Yeah.
it's an amazing thing when you see sort of the price curve in that respect kind of broken in this signal capacity. Javier, thanks a lot. Javier Blas, Bloomberg News chief energy correspondent, joining us. All right, well, coming up, President Biden seeks a path out of this gridlock and resetting the clock on his agenda. Is he going to be successful? Henry Trey's of Veda Partners joins us next. This is Bloomberg.
They heard $80 a barrel was like the top, and then they were like, "Cut that shit out! Get the fuck."
What time is he coming on?
Why do nearly 1 million businesses choose Stamps.com?
1 p.m. Eastern.
No more trips to the post office. No more.
No, so they had an advertisement with his face on it that was on this stream like 5 minutes ago or something like that. So it's definitely.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yep.
Anywhere for less. A lot less.
It's okay,
Get our
big guy.
special TV offer. A 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to stamps.com/offer and never go to the post office again.
Luxurious or mindful?
Are they? Am I getting the ad revenue? No.
Progress isn't either or. Progress is everything.
No. My ad revenue.
Unconventional thinking means we see things differently, so you can focus on what matters most. That's how we've become the leader in 5G, #1 in customer satisfaction, and a partner who includes 5G in every plan, so you get it all.
What's happening on Wall Street?
It's the basic law of economics.
The Fed is telling us this is transitory.
Need to catch up? This is Bloomberg Wall Street Week. I'm David Weston.
Transitory, by the way.
Information and insights.
David, you just hit the nail right on the head.
From businesses most influential and instrumental.
I support the new framework.
We need to invest in
Bloomberg Wall Street Week premieres Friday with replays all weekend.
But we
on
have to
Bloomberg.
Everybody else find it funny that the T-Mobile commercial on Bloomberg was all professional, but you watch a Jets football game and it's like Brady and Gronk making jokes.
Know your
Does
audience.
this not sound like a porno song intro? That totally sounded like a Brazzers fucking intro song.
As soon as this week, your savings in your pocketbook could be directly impacted by this Republican stunt.
My pocketbook?
This is Bloomberg Markets. I'm Alex Steele. President Joe Biden is warning that the U.S. government may raise the debt limit as the Senate cannot come to agreement on the issue. And this leads to something
What a complete
as Washington
idiot.
is really fighting it out, investors are less interested in the debt's size and more focused on what it costs. And right now, in the U.S. and developed world, government borrowing costs have been falling. It is very cheap to service big debt after decades of falling rates. And the question, of course, what happens if rates rise? On the other hand, Janet Yellen last week was saying that rates are going to stay low. Or that's still historically very low. So for more on the debt limit debate, want to bring in Henrietta Trey's
Where the fuck is Kenny?
Economic policy. Henrietta, the low rate that we have right now in the U.S. is very different than what we saw, say, in 2011 with the debt ceiling limit.
Probably still
Does
rehearsing
that
his
change
lines.
the possible effect here?
They didn't.
Absolutely. In 2000,
They didn't charge us batteries before the interview. They forgot.
Ways to cut $1 trillion from federal spending. We were so concerned with the deficit, which is obviously much different than the debt ceiling. And we were focused
Bro,
on
Bloomberg
how to
on the actual
reduce
TV is
spending.
like not available.
We negotiated for months with Republicans and Democrats over how to cut
What if
spending
AMC
and
just
from
starts
where.
ripping
We
right
developed this
before he
brand new
comes on
idea
and
of
he
the
just says,
sequester.
"I can't
That's
come on
very
now."
different than the
Cancels
dynamic and
last minute.
conversation happening in DC right now. Right now, there's no.
Bro, you remember that scene in The Big Short where like a Bear Stearns stock starts falling?
Oh yeah.
And like,
Oh my god.
he literally goes, "Are you aware that AMC is now in the thousands?" Imagine if that happened.
It
Dude, I
just
was
gets
thinking that
lost
exact
in
same
the-
thing this morning.
Would
you still sell
attached to
short?
it into 2022? So the fact that they're not even talking about how to trim spending or anything.
He's never on time. Hashtag FTDs.
Metric is very telling that this is pure politics. Spending is barely a part of the conversation.
That is such a great point, and a really good insight into what's happening in D.C. and the narratives between the parties, particularly as a lot of the debt that we are now servicing was run up during the President Trump's administration.
This debt that
How
we were
will Republicans
servicing,
use the
as if
debt
it's a
ceiling, though,
vehicle.
as a political football in terms of infrastructure?
That's a great question. I think the way to
When
think
I was a
about
boy
the
in
debt ceiling,
Bulgaria.
because of what we just suggested, which is that interest rates are very low and nobody has a problem borrowing more in any kind of functional political way. What we're really
That's a
doing
great
now,
question.
seeing from the minority leader, is obstruction. The longer and harder you can make it for Democrats to pass the $1.2 trillion Build Back Better, the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, or the substantial reconciliation.
No politics. Not now.
Or avert a government
After
shutdown, or
hours,
deal
I'm
with
all
the
for
debt
it,
ceiling,
but
or
not during
extend
market
the
hours.
Surface
If you're gonna be
Transportation
political,
Authority.
get the fuck
Anything
out.
else you can
Or
put
take the
on
boot
their
up the
plate
fucking
that
rum,
makes it
because you're
harder
getting your
and
shit
take
banned.
longer to pass their Build Back Better program or the infrastructure bill, the better, from the perspective of the Republican conference. Right now, the goal is obstruct and delay. That serves a very powerful messaging opportunity to say that Democrats are just Right now, profligate the goal is spenders. obstruct They're going and it delay. alone. They're That ruled serves by a the very progressive
Yo, who's got
party.
echo?
Echoing.
Democrats are just right now, the spenders are going to delay.
Echo, bitch.
Echoing. It says F you, Astro. That's his name in the Discord.
Suck my dick. See ya, bitch.
Banned. Got him.
Guy's a loser.
Held hostage in some capacity, and President Biden just cannot
Literally
bring them
having a
along
life.
together. Just look at SNL over the weekend. Who has control of the party?
Well, right now, I would say that it is a pretty even mix between progressives who are asserting their authority in a way that we've never seen them assert it before, and the moderates or the quote unquote establishment Democrats who are really just trying to adapt to this new environment. We saw President Biden come to the House of Representatives in a major show of sort of conciliatory, let's get this all together, let's operate as a team mentality. One of the things that I think investors have failed to really internalize over the course of this last year is that even though Democrats technically have a majority in the House and Senate, their majorities are so slim that they have effectively a non-functioning majority. And that's why you couldn't get the infrastructure bill at the last minute through the House last week. We still haven't passed the reconciliation bill, even though the House started marking it up at the beginning of September. There's a long way to go from here. And I guess the most constructive thing I could say is that as an investor looking in from the outside, your rule of thumb should really be nothing is going to happen until it has to. So on the debt ceiling, Treasury Secretary Yellen would love to see it done by the 18th. Does it have to be done by the 18th? I don't think so.
Where the fuck is he?
Safe bet should probably be that they missed that deadline. Even though Leader Schumer has said they're going to come in over the weekend and work into next week's recess session. It's distinctly possible.
I don't know. That's fucking hilarious headline.
And then the next deadline we have is October 30th, which is when the STA expires. That is a big deal. We saw 3,700 people furloughed at the end of last week for just a day. That could happen again.
So Henrietta, based on that, I wonder where are the markets most mispriced for, say, a continuous environment of political uncertainty?
Well, I think now there is a very serious understanding that the cost of the Democrats' reconciliation bill is going to drop. There had been a forecast on the street that we were going to see $2 trillion in taxes and $3 trillion in spending. I think those numbers are starting to come back down to earth a little bit, which is very helpful. I do think there's a path. My expectation with 70% odds is that we will see a reconciliation bill. Progressives played their hand very expertly last week, and we should expect that to continue. The urge to get the infrastructure bill through and the necessity of not seeing that funding lapse for the STA is critical. So I do think we'll be successful.
Wasn't Bank of America the underwriter to GME and AMC stock?
Down from sort of an astronomical space.
I believe so.
In terms of tax hikes and spending, it to come in at a much lower level.
Henrietta, so good to catch up with you. Really great analysis, Henrietta Trays, Veda Partners, a director of economic policy. Thank you very much. All right, coming up, it is full speed ahead for GM. You got engine number one saying to formally announce a stake in the automaker, plus Bloomberg News expecting positive numbers from its EV business. Those details in our stock of the hour next. This is Bloomberg.
God, they're really milking us. Yeah, they're milking us. They knew people were gonna come for Kenny, and they're just having us watch this shit now.
For sure.
I'm gonna refresh this just in case I get hit by that fucking block again. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Just close that incognito window and make a new one. Control-Shift-N is the whatchamacallit, the shortcut.
Well, I'm retarded. I don't know how to press buttons.
Yo, Astro, I have a question.
No.
How can the repo market be trading $1 trillion every single day, or more than $1 trillion, and keep running?
It's actually what it was set up to do, was to handle short-term lending like that. The numbers, though, were not meant to be seen as high as what they are.
Yeah, well, even if you look at it's just it's so crazy. Like the date on it, it's just spikes right in April.
Yeah, look at the regulation that came out around then.
And the SEC.
The OCC, the NSCC, the DTCC, all were pushing out regulation that basically was cutting off some of the avenues that were being used for hiding short positions. And then in early May, they started requiring that over-the-counter derivatives positions by not only the banks, but their clients for whom they were doing prime brokerage services for, also be reported. And that's when you started seeing the reverse repo going up, and that's when you started seeing movement on the stocks.
Astro, refresh the stream on mine, on your end.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Astro.
No problem, Berta.
Oh no, this sounds like porn music. Oh, never mind.
Holy moly, is she about to get that waffle?
This is Bloomberg Markets. I'm Alex Steele. Some breaking news for you. SEC has been urged now by Senator Elizabeth Warren to investigate trading by Fed officials and to see whether personal investments made by 3 Fed officials violated insider trading rules. She's speaking, of course, to Robert Kaplan and Eric Rosengren, both of whom have resigned within hours of each other for different reasons, but nonetheless, they're both had done some trading that was above board by the ethics standards, nonetheless create a lot of eyebrow raising from the market. Also, then we learned that Vice Chair Richard Clarida traded between $1 and $5 million out of a bond fund.
These pictures, though, what the fuck?
Before Jay Powell issued a statement flagging some possible policy decisions as the pandemic worsens, so that's raising a lot of red flags there as well. Apparently, Elizabeth Warren now urging the SEC to investigate them for insider trading, for breaking insider trading rules. All right, now we also want to get to stock of the hour. A lot of market action happening.
Fucking God.
Autos. It's been quite an active day. Over the weekend, Tesla announcing booming sales amid the auto parts shortage. Continuing with IPO and merger news today, plus an optimistic outlook from GM. Stocks editor Dave Wilson is reviewing it all. Totally rare on a day where everything is down so hard.
Absolutely. And like you say, there are a lot of moving parts going on here. Let's focus on GM first. Couple of developments there. They're meeting with investors this week. Talk about, among other things, their plans to move into electric vehicles and self-driving cars. So in advance of that, we had people familiar with the matter tell us that the cruise, which is focusing
Kenny's in the powder room.
They're literally going to put him on at like the 55th minute of the hour.
Powder room. Yeah.
Fat Kenny.
He's in there jacking his eyelids.
Basically backing GM's into EVs and self-driving technology.
So a bit different than what they also, news, Rivian, Volvo.
Chat, we're waiting on good old Kenny. I have no idea where the fuck he is. Another FTD. In the meantime, how we all doing? How we doing? 1,600, well, technically 1,800 fucking people in here. Salute. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, sure. Got any non-financial advice on BTC? I haven't really paid attention to it much lately. I think Ethereum looks like it's setting up pretty well. You can go to my Twitter for some of the TA that I did. Not too sure on Bitcoin though. Yo, Brandon, my man. Thank you, brother. Kenny boy always failing to deliver. That's why his wife left him. True. True. Very true. And this is fucking absurd.
All right, Dave, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Bloomberg's Dave Wilson joining us here. Coming up, we're going to speak to Ken Griffin, CEO and founder of Citadel, on the threat of inflation.
Hell yeah.
Finally.
Come on, pussy.
Look at that cock.
2.3% down on the NASDAQ, S&P up by 1.5%. Energy, though, still in the green. 10-year yield goes nowhere despite that sell-off in the equity market. That's Monday for you. This is Bloomberg.
Imagine they don't even bring up any lawsuit.
No, Mr. Griffin, please tell us about all of the benefits of payment for order.
It make me a lot of money.
Why do nearly 1 million
Lambos, my friends.
Watch them like talk about like what Linkin Park album was like the best. It doesn't make fucking sense.
Would you guys?
Meteora.
Would you rather guys do Nancy Pelosi or Janet Yellen?
anytime, anywhere? for
Pelosi.
Welch, what is that GIF, bro?
Clapping hands. Clapping hands. Clapping
Is there a third choice, like a bullet, maybe?
Clapping hands. Clapping hands. Clapping hands. Clapping hands.
Oh my God,
Clapping
another
hands. Wait. FJB.
Progress isn't either or. Progress is everything.
Yeah, who asked about sheep earlier?
That was me.
Electricity subscriptions, it's a part of this new business area that we have called the clean energy services. So the purpose with this new business area.
Oh, I thought you said something about 1,200 or 1,400 or something. I was kind of confused. I came in.
In the world for renewable
Up
energy.
41% on the day so far. It's not letting down.
On Shiba?
Yes, sir.
We will add even more products.
That is true.
We have solar panels that we sell, and now we have the soon.
I'm still trying to figure out what exactly can Shiba be
So it
used
really
for.
fits that ambition that we have.
Yeah, look at this headline. B of A adds crypto research to meet growing institutional demand.
They just announced that they're gonna start burning Shiba coins.
To live more sustainably.
That's
Okay.
And this is a big part of the climate positive strategy that IKEA has for 2030, that we will remove and reduce climate emissions.
This dude sounds just like iDubbbz with his European accent.
Value chain.
But to iDubbbz.
The growth story in cannabis remains very strong, even after the sort of loosening of the pandemic. There was a worry that there might be wallet spend competition, but so far the cannabis sector seems to be holding up very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that eye movement.
Every Friday with 30 minutes dedicated to fixed income. I'm Jonathan Ferro. This
It's like, yeah.
Let's go.
Everything's.
Is this it?
Yep.
It might be.
I'm Alex Steele. Welcome to Bloomberg Markets. In just a few moments, we're going to speak to Ken Griffin, founder and CEO of Citadel.
God, stop teasing us.
Only 30 minutes late.
Whether he believes in cryptocurrencies. In the meantime, it is a messy Monday shaping up.
I'm watching my 360% on shit right now.
Major averages. You have the Nasdaq 100 down, the worst performer there. Nasdaq comp is down by about 2.45%. The S&P also down by over 1.5%. Nasdaq 100 getting hit hard. A part of that is Moderna. That stock now down another 4.5 percentage points. You had a Pfizer booster for adults cleared in the EU, Moderna for some.
They're taking the Matt Core strategy, man.
That Merck COVID pill data that was very positive that we saw on Friday. So that's really leading the way down. Also, Facebook as well. Also, want to point out what's happening with the 10-year, which is a whole lot of nothing. Not seeing that safe haven buying come into the 10-year, the dollar, or gold. They're up by about 7 ounces, so not that much. Crude, though, really the outperformer, up by a full 3 percentage points. 78, you got over 80 for Brent. That's helping the S&P 500 energy sector. On the flip side, though, you have to wonder how much more oil can rally without affecting the broader sentiment as well. And as we head into earnings season, that is going to be critical because oil is really exemplary of the input cost increase that we're seeing when you're looking at gas or labor or supply chains or crude prices continue to get higher. That's going to squeeze margins. You have to see which are going to be able to depend on their operating costs and be able to pass on those costs to consumers and who can't. I was speaking to one restaurateur over the weekend who said that they have to close 2 days a week because they can't compete with labor, they have to raise wages, that they can't get the food that they want, that their food deliveries are all over the place, and you have certain input costs are super, super high, and they have to rejigger their menu every day just to make it work. So it's been pretty brutal for some individuals. So again, we're looking at risk off Monday, pretty messy there. And waiting for
Dude,
earnings season
she's
kicking off in
bullshitting
about
so
a week
hard.
and a
Like,
half
where the
of
fuck
data.
is this motherfucker?
VIX is staying elevated as well. I'm interested to see what happens
Needs
into
to
the
become
close
a politician or
here,
something.
because if you have some dip buying
Filibustering
coming in,
straight
that
up.
could really help support equities around here and into the close. On the flip side, though, retail buyers have not been in the market in the same kind of way in terms of, say, opening their Robinhood accounts, for example. So that's a real question.
Nobody
is
wants
who's
Robinhood.
gonna
You
end
wonder
up,
why.
buying the dip. Let's get you some other
Yeah, all
stories
retail's
here in
Robinhood.
the business world. Here is your Bloomberg business flash. Tesla inflicting more
Oh
pain
my
on
fucking
short sellers.
God.
Now, many of them are giving up.
Is he
Shares of the
boofing
electric
his
car
coke?
maker
What
rose
the
today
fuck
after
is going
Tesla
on?
reported another record quarter of vehicle
King
shipped.
is
Tesla's up
cock fluffed.
38%
We're about
since
to
it
get
hit
hit
its
with more ads.
2021 low in March, a measure of short interest. The percentage of stock borrowed by traders
We'll
has
be
now
right
slumped
back
to the
after
lowest
work.
since 2010. And shares of Facebook falling to their lowest level since June. The social network is now down 13% from its peak last month. The decline came after a former product manager at Facebook told CBS 60 Minutes the company prioritizes profits over the well-being of its users. And
No
that
shit.
is your Bloomberg Business
sounds
Flash.
good.
I want to go right now to the Economic Club of Chicago with Citadel CEO and founder Ken Griffin.
Let's go!
speaking with Bloomberg's
Hey,
Eric
finally.
Kessler.
All right, everyone, shut up.
And radio around the world. Ken, much of our conversation is going to turn on politics or policy in one way or another. Everyone here in our audience knows that over the years you've become increasingly active and involved in politics and policymaking, both as an advisor and as a funder on the local, state, and national level. So I think it makes sense, because it's probably a question for everyone here, for me to ask, to begin, before we get into the details, do you have any political ambitions?
That is the out of left field starting question now, isn't that? I've got 3 young children and I've got a great full-time job. So for the time being, I'm going to stay focused on my family and on my work. But I am involved in politics because regretfully that's become such an important part of day-to-day life in America. As you're well aware, I've been involved in supporting a variety of charitable causes for a very long time.
Fuck this guy.
And it is heartbreaking to see hard-earned gains wiped out with the stroke of a pen from a thoughtless politician. And so I have become more involved in politics over the years because I'm trying to protect the American dream. I'm trying to protect the opportunity
fuck off.
that everyone in this country should have to have a great life, a great education.
Can I
and to
get my
have a
channel
life-
points now?
A life well lived.
No way, they're clapping. What's going
They
on?
got a, they got a
Applause,
blood track?
please.
As you,
Yeah.
What is going on?
as you may imagine, folks, Ken and I are going to return to the topic of politics a little later in the show, but for the moment, I want to talk to you about the pandemic. Ken, you've been deeply involved in the fight against
recorded applause.
COVID-19. You personally lobbied the Trump administration at the very highest levels to fund vaccine development by pre-purchasing doses from multiple drug companies, what of course became Operation Warp Speed, and you pulled levers to push the FDA to speed approval of COVID-19 treatments. How do we beat the virus when only 56% of Americans are fully vaccinated?
So let me reframe the question. The great
Why is his
part
face so red?
of working with the Trump administration is you could reason with the individuals who ran our country. And with Operation Warp Speed, it was a very simple concept.
It's like a
spending
Hero
a few
Famous
$1 billion
Randalls.
without knowing which vaccines were going to work. But to start the manufacturing process before we had FDA approval would greatly compress time to market. And so if we had a winning vaccine, if we had a vaccine that was going to be successful, we could bring that to Americans far faster than the alternative. And that worked beautifully. The United States really, out of the gate, had a supply of vaccines that was unparalleled in the rest of the large economies around the world. Operation Warp Speed was a home run. And it really goes back to having people in the White House, whether it was the president or Jared Kushner or Vice President Pence, who were able to understand the concepts of real option theory and how to apply that to save American lives. $9 billion was spent, give or take, in Operation Warp Speed. Hundreds of thousands of lives were saved. It was one of the great accomplishments of the Trump administration. And I'm really indebted to my team for having come up with the idea for this strategy that
prepared
has so
answers.
impacted our country for the better. Now, having said that, one of the frustrations is that vaccination rates in the United States have plateaued out at an unacceptably low level. You know, if you look at my firm, where we have one of the great biotech investment teams in the world, we're about 98% vaccinated. So where you have the facts, the hard data, the unequivocal, like, scientific judgment to make a decision and to educate your team around why you should be vaccinated, we saw a voluntary vaccination rate, voluntary, not mandated at Citadel, of 98%. And I think we have fallen short as a country in communicating to our population just how important the vaccines are to change the destiny of this disease if you're infected.
You haven't had to impose a vaccine mandate at Citadel, clearly not, if 98 out of 100 of your employees are fully vaccinated. What about everybody else? Do you believe in vaccine mandates?
So now that we have FDA approval, we are going to start to face some pretty hard decisions as a country as to whether or not we vaccinate people mandatorily in key jobs. And I think if you're in healthcare, if you're in nursing homes, and if you're in occupations that you're going to touch the lives of others who may be immunocompromised, older in the years, you're going to have to be vaccinated. And then hopefully we'll get an FDA approval, not just an emergency use.
I don't understand. They're asking a money manager about a vaccine. Like, what's
in the
going on
foreseeable
here?
future, which will allow us to mandate vaccines for school-age
Yeah, this seems like a sideshow.
just as we do for a number of other
This is just a fluff piece for him to make him look good.
in which the virus can thrive and reduce the risk of mutations and other impacts that go with.
I'm sorry, I didn't know we were talking to a doctor here. I don't know what this guy's giving us. Like, what?
Honestly, like, does anyone want to fucking like? This is absolutely.
No, we have to continue. We have to continue.
Yeah. In case they're saying things don't want to.
No jab, no job. Should that apply? Should private employers have that freedom, and should governments be able to do that?
So let's be clear. You need to respect, for example, people's religious right to refuse a vaccine. So it cannot be as a country that everyone has to be vaccinated, because we as a nation have a deep respect for people's individual and religious rights. Having put that aside, if we go back to those areas of the economy where people are in frequent contact with others, and in particular with others who would be greatly adversely impacted by the disease, I think the issue of public safety dominates, and vaccination mandates are appropriate to address. Again, nursing home care will be an example. But I'd really like to think that as a nation that we can use, in some sense, our celebrities and our influencers and our politicians and our business leaders to drive home the point that the best decision you can make to protect your health, your loved one's health, sum it up really well. One of my friends wanted surgery for a major hospital in the United States. People come in and they're sick with COVID. It's the first thing they ask me. Can I get vaccinated? It's the single most common question from people who are sick with COVID who walk into one of the major hospitals in the United States. You're too late. And we need to get past the education conspiracy theories that are really undermining the acceptance of this vaccine amongst our broader population.
Where's that word?
Can big companies across the country have pushed the return to office back to November, back to December, in some cases into 2022? Talk to me about the approach you've taken at Citadel and Citadel Securities, and whether you think it's a model others should follow.
So you asked the question exactly right. Big companies have pushed back the return to work. Smaller companies are back at work. And in some sense, it's a pretty straightforward reason. Small companies are always on the edge of their own existence. They don't have a big economic moat from a big consumer brand name. If you're a small business, you're trying to literally make it from day to day, week to week, in trying to realize your dream and to make your business successful. And the productivity hit of being in a remote environment by Zoom, you're just not going to be successful. Your business is just too
shorting
fragile.
them, dumbass.
And so what we see is a very
Less
stark
than 100
difference in the
employees.
return to office programs between small and medium enterprises and the large global multinationals. Now at Citadel, we have been 100% back at work since June, and we were at 50% back at work through most of the pandemic.
Such a
There was
lie.
that
I own a
very
small business
initial
with less than
phase
100
where-
people, and
where
we're
we were
totally
shut
remote
down
and
like the rest
thriving.
of the country. We were fortunately able to literally build a trading floor in the Four Seasons in Palm Beach, Florida in 5 days. Bring 100 and some people down to Florida and to run a substantial part of the U.S. capital markets from a hotel in the middle of South Florida. And that's a real credit to my team for their engineering ingenuity.
Isn't that a
and their
security
ability
risk?
just to get the
I was
damn
gonna
job
say,
done.
yeah, that's a little.
I really appreciate my team members who made that
Anybody
happen.
with a little bit of
It was
background in
incredibly
InfoSec
important
would
to the
have
strong
some raised
functioning of the
eyebrows.
US markets and equities and fixed income and other assets that we pulled that off. But having said
Kenny in
this,
Chicago.
if you are early in your career, you are making a grave mistake not being back at work.
Winking face.
It's incredibly difficult to have the managerial experiences and the interpersonal experiences that you need to have to take your career forward in a work remotely environment. Work remotely is very good at maintaining the status quo, but the world's not static. Competitive pressures from around the world will put American businesses continually under pressure. The Chinese have been back at work literally from almost the start. They're continuing to evolve at a very rapid rate of innovation. And we are, in many ways, stuck in patterns from 18 months ago because it is so much harder to create and to innovate in a remote working environment. So for our youngest members of our
Fractal
workforce,
theory confirmed?
I'm gravely concerned that the loss of early career development opportunities is going to cost us dearly over the decades to come. That's where I think the biggest hit's going to be in looking forward in America.
In other words, working from home has an economic consequence for the country.
For the country and for a generation.
You've addressed the millennial question. The CEOs I speak to tell me they're also struggling, Ken, with another group of people in addition to those millennials. And that's the top producers, the senior people who don't want to go back to the office. They're just happy, thank you very much, working from home in the Hamptons or from Palm Beach or from Aspen. And when they don't go back to the office, those young people whom we've just talked about dragging back in don't get the apprenticeship.
You're exactly right.
These guys are so
You're
out
exactly
of touch.
right. And this is where leadership matters.
Yo,
The
he
CEO
got
and the
fat.
CEO being in the office is so important. It's the tone from the top that we're going to get back together. We're going to get back to work. I really
He's
wish
been
we could
diving
have
in the
States
mail
make
too
this
much.
Part of a keynote address. It's time for America to get back to work.
And in the meantime,
Should put some work in on the treadmill, Kenny, you fat fuck.
And in the meantime, that
Is this a
burden of
presidential
responsibility
campaign
falls on
rally here?
corporate leadership,
Bro, straight
and
up.
civic leadership to do the same thing.
Obama
Absolutely.
didn't be president
And
of the
what's
first
disheartening is when you see some
I
of
love
our
how they
core leaders
apply
like
the color
Jamie
correction to
Dimon
his face
really
right when the
trying
camera
to
pans
push
back
the
to him,
return
so he
back
looks
to
less
work
red.
message, the blowback from the popular press.
Do you think that's why other
He looks like he's
CEOs aren't
sweating.
doing what he's doing and what you've just done?
When
It
they
does
switch
look
to the
like-
camera that
You talk to
focuses
other
on the
CEOs, they
interviewer,
live in fear of
look
how
at
they'll
the
be publicly
color transition that
persecuted from delivering
takes
a
place when they
straightforward
switch from the
message. It's
interviewer
time to go back
to
to
Ken.
work.
The interviewer
Why
looks
shouldn't they be
dead.
scared?
Yeah, the
They both look
They are
dead.
scared. And that's part of what we're seeing right now. And that's
but he's
why,
like a
again, from a
green,
leadership perspective, if our
brown
president were to
color.
address this really grave
Well, Kenny looks
concern,
like Cuban.
I think as a country, we'd be much better off. If you look at the UK, for example, the message to the civil service is cut and dry. It's time to get back to work.
Wait for it.
We need that same message in
Watch the color
Washington.
correction be applied.
We need it for our government workers. We need it for our corporate leaders. We as a country, it's time to get back at it.
Ken, there's a huge divide between the camp that thinks the economy still needs more stimulus to fully recover from the pandemic and the other camp that thinks the government has done far too much stimulating already.
Oh, shit.
I think I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask you nonetheless, which camp are you in?
So I was in the White House in March of 2020, and President Trump was going to put forth, in fact, did put forth the proposal for a tax holiday on Social Security. And I had to point out to the president, the issue wasn't people who were at work. The issue our country faced was people who could not work. The waitress, the hotel staff member, people in the travel industry who just, like literally a light
worked at
switch
theaters,
flipped, and they were out of work.
Right after February.
And we all
24th.
know the stats of the stunning proportion of our population that has no savings. And it's not a pleasant place to be to disagree with President Trump, but I had to drive home the point. We needed to get checks in the hands of Americans as fast as we possibly could who had lost any ability to maintain their basic needs in life. Like this pandemic was going to wipe out millions, tens of millions of households that had no savings and no prospects of working for an unknown period of time. And I take my hat off to Washington for moving quickly on the first stimulus package, where we got those checks out the
took like
doors
what,
to
2 months to
American
get
families,
out?
and we protected people's ability to have the basic needs of life addressed. Now this has grown and grown over time.
$1,200 after 2 months of this shit. Here you go.
Ultimately destroyed
Here you
the
go.
incentive to work. You and I both know of the number of people today, or until recently, who are making more money on the pallet of government handouts than they were in their full-time employment. And that's crippled the supply chain in America. A real-life tangible example, I was at a restaurant in the northern suburbs of Chicago with one of my friends who's actually in the audience. And we'd ordered dinner, and the owner came out after an hour.
You don't have friends.
Hispanic man. Incredibly, you could just feel the emotional angst. He's like, I am so sorry that you're having such an awful experience.
Someone make a meme out of what I just said and put the South Park, we're sorry.
Right. And he's like, he goes, this should be a
we're sorry.
I can't hire people, and I can't keep people. And just the anguish in his face was heartbreaking. And that's what
like you have the fucking capacity to parse other human emotion, you fucking tool.
Find people to come back to work.
Get this fucking shit off my screen.
We need to have done, whether it's working in the energy industries, it's delivering products and packages.
Fucking unreal. The billionaire saying it was really heartbreaking when the person who, oh my God, working minimum wage, had to apologize. Seriously? Seriously? Really?
So stupid.
God, could not imagine. Oh, the experience he must have had to go through. Oh.
Yeah, he just plants people.
I wonder why.
You're goddamn right. We don't have price stability in AMC.
Give us a little more nuance to that, Kenny.
Do you think they'll talk about the repo?
Fuck no.
I'm just waiting for this guy to ask any real questions.
Dude, these are fucking meatballs, man.
Sorry.
You got the questions before, and some college nerd wrote it out for him.
Sorry.
Facts.
The stream died. I bet.
Fuck it. They always give the questions beforehand. That's why you can answer them in such like.
It's not like he's asking anything important.
No, that's why you can articulate so well.
All right, stream's back up. Sorry.
Been practicing all week.
Go secret.
What? It's over?
Oh, that's weird. Wet dirt.
Sorry, I don't know what the fuck happened. Ah, fuck.
Kenny knew you were streaming.
Fuck it.
All right.
Momentarily died on live TV as well, and then I came back.
Legal. Do you think it was live though?
No, that was
that was recorded.
As fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I mean on TV it died.
It's back. It's back.
Yeah, the man is sweating hard.
Look how
He's like, please don't ask about retail. Please don't ask about retail.
He's crushing his balls.
Somebody in the audience. Does this smell like mayo?
Because you hired him.
I'd love to see a slip and say, we cannot be controlled.
Right.
Why are we taking this guy's word for our Fed and like what's going on here, dude?
We just want to hear him lie.
Dude, this is just confirmation of crony capitalism. That's all it is.
Kringle 60 seconds ago, looking if I could short the mayo industry.
I wish someone would just casually stroll behind them while they're talking in a fucking gorilla suit.
Bigfoot style.
Someone should just hand them a banana on stage.
Someone should throw their shit at Kenny. Looks like there's people there.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. So I guess Citadel's long on China.
Yo, is Twitter down?
No.
Yeah, I can second that. It's up.
How much our schools cost? Can't even afford.
He just says that because he was removed from trading in those areas.
It's because China banned Citadel securities.
Are we trying to move?
I'm gonna pick up some shares while they're down here.
Look at BlackBerry. Dude, he's really sweating now.
China owns this man.
Are the hard questions coming?
No.
Look at his hand. Look at that hand. What the fuck's wrong with that?
He's reading the notes on his fingers.
He does have a
Is that his
notepad.
phone on the chair? He probably has Robinhood open with AMC price.
China's been capitalist for a while. It's not to their people.
Kenny, how fucked are you?
Dude. So fucked.
Is Amy trying to move? Jimbo? Amothy?
Come on, I want to watch Kenny have a stroke on air.
You guys are so brutal.
Death pad. I mean, Death Note.
Fuck that. You think he has any love for us?
What is going on? The volume picking up?
The chart wants to run.
A lot of numbers. Cat. Nah, you knew. They knew what they were doing.
What the fuck are these spreads?
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
Hmm?
That's the only thing I'll agree with him on.
Agreed.
He knows that you know that.
Wait, can someone leave Kurt's stream so I can jump back in?
I got you.
Thank you. Somebody leave, por favor.
It's
And
incomprehensible.
This, I think, traces back to a
ahead,
loss of
Astro.
meaning in life.
Are you
When
in?
life revolves around
Yeah.
your Instagram and Facebook account and not around how well you do on the sports field, how well you do in class, how well you do in your drama, activities after school, you've lost your way in life. We need to teach our children math and science and how to read and how to write and how to compete and how to take joy in success. Because we need these children to lead our country in 20
So
years.
inspirational.
For me, the most heartbreaking part of the pandemic, let me give you two stories. Number one is, why haven't we brought the scientists from Moderna and Johnson & Johnson to the White House to recognize them publicly for their unbelievable accomplishment of developing a vaccine in a year? These...
Okay, let's watch Moderna's chart.
These men and women are the heroes of our
Oh, would you
lifetime,
look at
and yet
that?
they're nameless to everybody in this room for all intents and purposes. But they're the heroes of our lifetime. It took us 4 years, was our fastest prior time to market.
They're
for
long
development
on
of a
Moderna,
vaccine.
Pfizer, and AMD because he specifically dropped those three names.
Science. And yet, there are no heroes among
Percy,
this
he's just
group.
gonna talk
There
about
are no
vaccines.
people that our children are looking up to saying, I want to be like her. I want to make that happen one day. That's not happening. And at the same time, this is a nation, we won World War II because we outproduced the Germans. We produced more planes, more tanks, more ships, more artillery than one could ever have imagined up front to win World War II.
Dude, whoever his coat dealer is, I need that guy's number.
Hell fucking yeah, brother! Back-to-back World War champions!
And minimizes the bravery of those who fought for us in both the Pacific and in Europe. But a big part of the success story of America in World War II was the men and women who went to work in our factories to arm our military to win.
Is this
Why do I
foreshadowing?
talk
This
about
guy
this?
just said, I don't want to
make ventilators.
I don't want to take away from the bravery of the soldiers, but
I don't
the
know
real
what
hero
our heroes of World War II would
were
say
the
about a
people
country
who
that in 60
pounded some
years
steel
lost
together.
its management
Fucking
capability
idiot.
and block and tackle execution skills to make ventilators.
Ken, part of what you
What? Babbling on about.
What the fuck?
Are you
functional
kidding me?
My brain is melting. Problem in the education system, and part of it is cultural.
This guy's a billionaire?
Lack of drive for earned.
Clearly proves you can be an absolute idiot
Is
and
it
be a
possible
billionaire.
that there's another factor as well?
They call us dumb
That if
money.
more
Dude, the way he just looked at that cup and took a drink, he's like, I don't know what that was, but that was pretty good.
in favor of those with
Never
money,
had it
power,
before.
influence, and historic
trying to be
advantages.
slick about reading off of his
They'd be more
notes.
competitive. In other words, inequality is part of the problem.
Oh, this
I
will be
think
good.
Zuckerberg taking his drink at the. I drink water. I'm like normal people.
Window of opportunity in our country by our broken K through 12 educational system.
So the reason he didn't
There's
come
no
out
doubt.
right away, I think
And
he
it
spent 45 minutes
traces
combing
back
that
to the
little
rise of the
chunk
teachers'
hair
unions in the
off of his head.
1960s.
The
where
reason
put
we
the
have naked
interests
sorting
of our
guys are
teachers as
broken
professionals in front of those
K to
of our
12
children
system.
who are the future of our country. And I
How do I teach these kids?
At my high school class reunion a few weeks ago, largely to pay tribute to one of my teachers who was so important in my life, who was able to attend us and celebrate his birthday with us. We all have those teachers in our lives who left such a mark on who we are. But yet, I watched Emmanuel just absolutely get attacked by the teachers union for trying to do the basic necessity of having a longer school year and longer school day. Chicago is one of the shortest school years in the country. We have less hours of instruction
For all
opportunity for our
180
kids than
days.
almost any other major city. And our mayor went to bat to change that and got batted over the head by the teachers union. And it was a disgrace.
Did this idiot just bring up Lori
He worked
Lightfoot
so
and say
hard
that
to
she's a
improve our
good
public
person?
schools in Chicago. And to see that
Some
undermined
previous
continually
mayors,
by
okay.
the unions has been
Or
heartbreaking.
did he just
And
call
now what's
Lori
even more
Lightfoot a he?
remarkable is the idea of us unionizing our principals. We're going to take away the people who are most accountable. And I got to tell you, I hosted a dinner for our principals a few years ago just to thank them for a number of our higher achieving principals.
Does he have any
dinner to
notes on the
thank
floor or
them for a
something? He
job
keeps
well
looking
done.
down.
And when you hear the struggles they
No,
face
that's
in
what
dealing
a
with the
person
teachers
speaking from
union,
the heart does.
and you hear how
Yeah,
hard
exactly.
families work to overcome
He needs to
these
dig deep.
Who doesn't lie?
You know, one teacher spoke about, or one principal spoke about how they, by union contract, cannot teach a certain math class in their school with their
Viewers,
staff.
is when you look to your left is when you're pulling from all the stories that you've made up in your life.
One school to another school for an hour of instruction and to bring them back. I mean, this is just an absurdity.
Again, I want to remind those who are just tuning in. Outside
I'm just a regular guy, just like you.
Fucking PR stunt. Yo, BlackBerry's about to go off.
Back again to government, if you will, and fiscal policy.
Take another sip, boy.
Where you disagree with President Biden's economic agenda.
Well, one thing is he has such an expansive agenda. There's plenty to like and there's plenty not to like. There are a few things that he has spot on right. We need to reduce regulatory requirements that make it difficult for people to have careers. You know, a number of states, for example, have just absurd requirements to be a hairdresser. It diminishes opportunity. Going back to your earlier point, people want to have a chance to get ahead. Why we have so many states that have so many antiquated rules designed to protect trades from new entrants is beyond me. President Biden has that spot on right. He has it spot on right that non-compete agreements that prevent people in low-skilled service jobs from moving from one employer to another should be prohibited. He's absolutely right. Protecting intellectual property is really important.
Well, school
But
system has
stopping a
been
house cleaner
hijacked by
from
the
going
union.
from one hotel chain to another is disgraceful. He's got that spot on right. The core infrastructure bill passed by our bipartisan leadership in the Senate, that's really needed infrastructure for America, for roads, for airports, to help to address the digital divide that exists in America. Huge supporter of that legislation. It helps to tear down the barriers to getting ahead. Spot on right. The $3.5 trillion spend fest.
20,000 AMC shares. So Thursday, 30.
I can't tell who he's alienating more. This.
At the end of an era of taking on crippling debt, to engage in just an absolute, there's something like a portfolio of pork-bellied spending unlike any we've seen before. You know, here, this sums it up. We can debate EVs and their impact on climate, but if we're going to agree that electric vehicles are good for climate change, then I don't see vehicles better than the other. But they want to have a subsidy for electric vehicles made in America in unionized plants, but not plants that are not unionized. This is really an incredibly partisan and, in my opinion, corrupt piece of legislation. And I give Manchin credit for having sworn, he says in his op-ed, I swore an allegiance to the nation and the fidelity of its constitution.
Fidelity!
Corrupt now?
He keeps looking down so much, man.
Washington, who understood when elected to office, America comes first.
America!
Except for American companies that I want to shorten to the ground.
This is like Oprah for super old white men.
Another
Straight
sip.
up!
Yeah, except
Dude.
for the ones who run
You
out of
get a treasury note! You get a treasury note!
How can you still take a sip from that mug? There's nothing in it.
Well, what if that happens?
Why is there 70s porn music playing? Go fucking get some culture, you fucking idiot.
Yeah,
That was Pink Floyd.
And every time somebody blinks, and I hope that cooler minds prevail, and we blink again before we go over the cliff.
Kenny, you don't fucking blink.
Keep blinking.
He's gonna remind himself.
Jump, dude.
It's their profligate spending.
I want to
that
see
is
Kenny
causing
do
so much unrest
jacks.
within the moderates of their party across the Republican flank. They need, if they're going to try to push a $3.5 trillion spending bill, they should be pushing first and foremost the solution to the debt ceiling issue. They've got to give on this front.
Not the Republicans, not Senator McConnell.
I think Senator McConnell's in a really tough spot to be put, like, you're supposed to sign off on a spending bill that not one member of your party approves of. This is where we need compromise. And both sides need to come to the table to compromise, and one side's not even at the table right now.
Ken, a few questions for you about the markets in which your companies operate. Citadel Securities is at the center of the debate over so-called payment for order flow.
There we go.
Or buying the right to
Hold
execute
on.
buy and sell orders from brokerages such as Robinhood, Charles Schwab. And it's one of the
Take a
reasons
sip,
that you had to
boys.
testify before Congress
Shut up.
over the GameStop situation earlier this year. To those uninitiated, payment for order flow is why retail investors can effectively trade for free. But critics argue that there's nothing free about it, and the hidden costs of why firms like yours are making so much money, hidden costs, excuse me, are the reason firms like yours are making so much money as market makers. I'm not going to get into that debate over
Kurt,
whether
can you full
it
screen?
is beneficial or whether it's not beneficial. We can litigate that elsewhere. But there is, Ken, a renewed interest in Washington in regulating payment for order flow. And I'd like to know what's at stake for Citadel Securities if payment for order flow were banned.
Kurt, can you full screen?
Let us hope that in Washington we maintain the status quo.
Thank you.
That brokerage firms have a duty to secure the best execution they can for their customers. That's the basis on which we compete. That's the basis on which we win. Now, let's take a step back. Payment for order flow is a cost to me. So if you're going to tell me that by regulatory fiat that one of my major items of expense disappears, I'm okay with that.
You would be quite fine if payment for order flow were to disappear tomorrow.
At 100,000 feet, I'm quite fine with that. So long as we leave the standard that execution quality is how orders should be allocated amongst market centers. Now, having said that, I think that the diminution of participation in our capital markets from the reintroduction of commissions would be a huge loss. I hat off to the team at Schwab, which is now Schwab Ameritrade or E-Trade or Robinhood, for really democratizing finance in America. It hasn't all been good, but it's been really good in broad strokes. And free trading has been a big part of the story. The cost of trading has come down dramatically since I was in college. I used to spend $20 or $30 a trade. Now you can trade for free. And work by firms like Citadel Securities made that a reality. So from my vantage point, we want to hold on to this democratization of finance that's taken place. If payment for order flow helps to maintain that as a reality, I think that's good for everybody. But from my vantage point, having one of my major cost lines eliminated, I'm going to be a winner in that scenario. So I find this to be a very curious debate that we're seeing unfold in Washington. Because
One of my major cost lines, but what about the revenue
All I want to know
side?
is what are the rules of the road. If I have to drive on the left, I'll drive on the left. If I have to drive on the right, I'll drive on the right. Just tell me how you want me to drive.
Is he talking in gross or net numbers?
Others would love to know what you think about crypto. Cryptocurrencies have become a $2 trillion market. And
Is that all we're
going to
talk about?
Firms, including those in this town, such as DRW and Jump Trading, are making a big push into crypto.
Yeah, I like how they got him into the debate on
and even if you don't count your businesses,
politics and
the active investors
the
or
vaccine,
traders
but
in
they
crypto.
didn't want to bring him into the debate on.
That is a great question. So first and foremost, I wish all this passion and energy that went into crypto was directed towards making the United States stronger. I mean, let's face it, it's a jihadist call that we don't believe in the dollar.
What?
wanted to say fucking
What
the
fuck
is
wrong
with
you?
What did you just say?
Talented people to come up with a replacement for our reserve currency, which helps to make our standard of living a reality and accrues incredible benefits back to our country. Let's replace the dollars, the global reserve currency, with Bitcoin. That's a brilliant idea.
Whatever
By the way,
disease that has written his brain
several
of
hundred
any
new
form
power plants are
of
producing
rationalization might be
unbelievable
in the
amount of
air.
carbon to make that dream a reality. I think I maybe just told you how I feel about crypto.
I keep saying I want to see the audience. Where's that fucking fake audience?
So I will have so much hate mail in
What's
my
up, guys? Not
inbox
much. I
and
was
on
just
my
over
Twitter
making fun of
account
Ken
in about
Griffin. I
30
wanted to
minutes.
come
I
say hi on
can't
your
count
channel.
it.
Yeah, welcome.
But we don't trade crypto because of the regulatory uncertainty.
Anytime Ken Griffin's on, I
We
want to put a
often
gas
make
mask on.
markets in companies
Oh, I
whose business
dig it.
models I don't really have
air.
fondness for.
Yeah, I was
Because
a really
one of
big
our
puff
jobs
piece.
as a market maker is to meet the liquidity demands of
There's nobody in that
American
fucking
families that
audience.
want
It's
to
all
invest
laugh
in
tracks.
X, Y, or
There's like
Z.
7
Yeah.
people.
And
4 of them are
it's not my
attorneys.
job to tell
3 of them
them
are
if they're right or
cameramen.
wrong. It's my job to provide them with the best
My ass. I got more of an
policy.
audience sitting over here with my dogs.
Because of the lack of
If there was an
regulatory
audience,
certainty
they
around
would have shown the
cryptocurrency,
audience by now.
we just aren't involved today.
Yeah,
And I
he
really
hasn't
believe
listed the audience.
that Chairperson Gensler is spot on.
Wait,
on
guys,
the need
shut.
to have thoughtful regulation around cryptocurrency.
Oh, he's sucking
I
dick.
actually think that doing so will make it a smaller market because it'll become a far more competitive market when there's regulatory clarity. And that will be good. A smaller market, less people involved who are frankly just trying to make a quick buck. And whatever the virtues are of that product,
That's every
and I think
fucking
those are
market.
pretty nebulous, will become very different in a world of competitive exchanges and competitive pricing by tier 1 market
Their
makers willing to
desperation
put their
attempt
best
to
foot
make Ken
forward.
Griffin look good
So
right
I
now
really
stems
believe
directly
that
from all the
Chairperson
backlash
Gensler
on
is
Twitter,
spot on
YouTube,
on
Reddit,
the need for regulation.
everywhere
And
you
the
can
SEC
imagine.
has got a
Even the
solid,
mainstream media at
solid
this point
history
is
of
on their
writing
ass.
good regulatory policy.
I mean, that's what it looked like. They tried to paint it like he saved
I would trade
America
it
by
because it would
helping
meet the
them fund the
needs of our
vaccine.
online brokerage partners who want to
no,
have
no press is
a
bad
tier
for
1
everyone.
firm making prices.
I wonder what kind of
I mean, part
interest
of the
he's
reason
got
that
in
we
the
are
pharmaceutical
so
industry to
significant
have
retail
that
market
vested
making
interest as well.
is our incredibly high reliability. We're there every day and every minute of every day.
Good morning, Professor Astro.
And we provide a great service every day and every minute of every
It's
day.
all right if you don't
And
need the
they want us to
commentary, man.
provide
We don't really
pricing
need
in
Ken
crypto.
Griffin's commentary
I just don't
either
want
to know
to
what the
take
fuck
on the
he's really saying at the end of the
regulatory
day.
risk.
Look at how bad he's sweating.
Void
Looks like he had a whole night
that
of
some of my
coke and hookers
contemporaries are
pegging Jim
willing to take
Cramer.
on.
Ken, when you last spoke here at the Economic Club of Chicago in 2013, you described this
Professor
as a
Astro is
city
wearing some
and
kind of
state,
must
and I'm
have.
quoting you
Professor Astro,
directly,
what happened at
with
the
broken
Black Spartan
schools,
on you or what?
bankrupt pensions, rising crime, a declining tax base, and public corruption. Here we are. It's 2021,
shut up.
8 years later. How's Chicago doing? Better or worse?
Keep those eyes closed.
No, I can't believe I actually gave that quote because the bottom line is it's even worse. It's even worse.
He has the shit. That's what's going on.
Since I last spoke in 2013, 25,000
Hey, Astro, turn up the desktop audio a
of my
little bit,
fellow
please.
Chicagoans have
Turn
been
up the desktop audio a little bit.
He needs the
Here
roasted
comes the
duck
gun
into that.
control, guys.
And it is a disgrace that our governor will not insert himself into the challenge of addressing crime in our city. It is a disgrace.
What is he saying? Take a sip.
There's no water or
I
coffee in that mug.
was on a call with him back in the height of the civil unrest.
Did you cue that
and
super fake
and
laugh
argued with
track? 'Cause
him
that sounds
to
terrible.
declare a state of emergency to deploy the National Guard. Now, the governor and I don't really get along in very much, as you might imagine, given some of the ballot initiatives that haven't gone his way. But I told him to deploy the National Guard, and he goes, it
the
won't
SEC is on his
look
ass.
good for there to be men and women on Michigan Avenue with assault weapons.
Assault life?
If that saves the life of a child, I don't care.
I'll go cry.
So we have our work cut out for us because we
Kenny's
have
heart grew
a
3
government
times
in
last
our
minute.
state that continually puts votes in front of people, votes in front of lives,
Fuck
votes in
you
front of
with the
schools.
roasted duck,
And we
mother
need to
flower.
start to take the state back inch by inch from people that put their politics first and put our people second.
You know, it's all about 1 inch at a time.
Dude, that mug is empty.
An angel gets his wings.
And I definitely will not be in a fruit basket this year.
He's drinking air. He's drinking hope.
Of course, we're here not just to talk about problems, Ken. We're here to talk about solutions. Give me 3 suggestions, the 3 most critical steps that the elected leadership in this city and this
He's drinking
state,
concrete
Mayor
gel.
Lightfoot and Governor
Fuck!
What?
Damn it, Kurt.
Bloomberg stream is complete shit.
It
What
crashes
a fluff piece.
so much. Okay.
For nearly 50 years,
Yeah, we were
PIMCO
having the
has
same issue.
reinvented
That shit was just way too laggy. It's not on you either. It's just Bloomberg.
Wait,
It's happening over here on my
PIMCO,
computer.
isn't
Everybody
that
else is-
isn't PIMCO something that a Fed Reserve held?
And this is a far more recent problem. We need
Hey, someone broadcast that?
our colleagues in public safety, our police force. We need them.
It's working, right?
Yeah.
Can someone else take? It's full.
Officers to know that they are also entitled to the benefits of being an American citizen, that you are innocent until proven guilty. It's incredibly hard to do your job as a police officer if the moment you have to protect yourself, you have to wonder, will you go to jail? Will you lose your job? Will you be publicly persecuted and humiliated?
Someone restream
before
it,
any
please.
of the facts come forth. And that's where you are as a Chicago police officer today, and it's just wrong. Now, this is no excuse for the acts of police brutality that have taken place in our city and across the country. But we need our police officers who have our backs on the street to feel like we have their backs in doing their job. And third is we need to fix our schools. I spoke about it earlier. That Chicago continues to have a very
All right, someone restream it, please.
lost a
Who's
full
not an
year of
asshole.
learning due to the pandemic. And there's no real plan to put them back on track. And we need to deal with that issue. And we need to deal with it here and now.
Ken.
Yes, if only there were billions of dollars to be able to throw at this issue. Oh my God, could you imagine?
Chicago. And why are Citadel and Citadel Securities still here in Chicago?
We aren't as here in Chicago as we were as much in 2013. We now have well over 1,000 people in New York. It's become the center point for our hedge fund.
You know, Pete,
It's becoming ever more
UnusualWhales
difficult
tweets
to have this as our global headquarters, a city which has so much violence. I
data
mean,
of
Chicago's
over
like
1.5
Afghanistan
billion
on a good
Facebook
day.
users is being sold on a popular
And that's a problem.
hacking-related forum.
You just mentioned
That's
New
on
York.
Facebook,
I mean,
not financial advice.
Put this in black and white. I probably
Yes,
have 25
Facebook
bullet
instead.
shots in the glass window of the retail space in the building I live in. They tried to carjack the security detail that sits outside my house. That didn't go so well for the carjacker. But it just tells you like how deep crime
UnusualWhales
runs
just
in
said
this city. There is nowhere where
Facebook
you
was
can
hacked.
feel
Is that
safe
correct?
today walking home at 9:30 at night. And you worry about your kids going to and from school.
He's
That's
saying it
no way
appears
for our
to be
city
hacked.
to exist. And it's really hard to recruit people to Chicago when they read the headlines, they know the facts. I can't look people in the eye like I did
Data
20
of
years
over
ago.
1.5 billion
20 years
Facebook
ago,
users sold on
this
Hacker Forum
is
information.
a great place to
1.5
raise a
billion
family.
Facebook users data
This
has
is a
been being
great place
sold
to call
on a
home.
popular hacking-related forum
And I could say that with a
posted 2 minutes
genuineness
ago
that
on
resonate with people.
privacyAffairs.com.
They would bring their
Thin
wives and
twit
children here or their
saying
husbands,
the private
as
and
the
personal
case may be.
information of 1.5 Facebook,
I can't give
1.5
that
billion
same speech
Facebook users
today.
are being sold
I
on a
can't in good
popular
conscience.
hacking-related forum.
So for how much
Change your
longer
passwords,
is this
motherfucker.
the global headquarters for Citadel?
It's probably measured in years, not decades, if we don't change course.
Yeah, you can't,
You
because
mentioned
Facebook's down.
the jobs you
down.
created in New York.
How fucking convenient. That's hilarious.
And that's because, I presume, New York offered something of an antidote to the dysfunction you've just described in Chicago. Do you still believe as strongly that New York is the antidote?
You guys need some new medicine too. Because some of the same problems that we have faced is now unfolding in New York. And I hope that the new mayor-elect will understand that when they look across the country and see what's happened in Detroit or here in our great city, the path New York's on is a scary path. And this is where Giuliani and Bloomberg get so much credit. In cleaning up crime, you can have a great global city.
They were ready to clap before you even said anything.
This may be the same question asked.
There's probably a fucking sign,
Where are
dude.
business conditions in this country best?
It's a laugh track.
Where are you doing most of your hiring today?
It's a digital laugh track.
It's like Jeb Bush. Please clap.
I've lived in Chicago.
1.5 billion Facebook users, that's over 50%.
Definitely far stronger across most of the Sun Belt states.
Glad I got rid of Facebook
regulation.
years ago.
Same.
Less taxes. A workforce that generally is very much of the ethos of, I'm here to earn it. The northern cities still have a phenomenal advantage.
He looks like he's about to
In
keel
Chicago, it's
over.
called University of Chicago. It's Northwestern. In New York, it's Columbia. It's Yale. In Boston, it's Harvard. Our great universities are epicenters of success, the Silicon Valley and Stanford. And those schools anchor our great northern cities. The South doesn't have that yet writ large. But as that changes over the years to come, as universities in the South continue to get stronger, University of Texas at Austin, or Rice, or Georgia Tech, which is unbelievably good, you're going to see the balance of power shift from the north to the south as the ease of doing business in the South triumphs the richness of human capital that is created by the great schools in the north.
Okay, that's the first question. Where are you doing all your hiring?
We are doing our hiring now all over the country.
Because no one wants to
York's still
fucking
a
work for you.
huge source of hiring for us. Chicago's become smaller on a relative basis. And then we are about to sign an office space in Miami. And that will be for quite a bit of square footage, and we are going to have a lot of people living there.
Earlier today, you said it breaks your heart to be so personally and financially engaged in politics, that you wouldn't do it if you didn't have to, in other words. What is your personal philosophy on political engagement? When will you spend your money and why
Not that
to fight
fucking
political
expensive.
battles?
They're about to get
And is there a
market
limit to the distance you'll go?
Bank of America's going under.
We went pretty far in the
Ken Griffin will live in Cuba by then.
For those who...
Somebody's in his ear telling him what fuck.
I should explain, for those who don't know, both Governor Pritzker and Ken here spent in excess, if I'm not mistaken, of $50 million of their own money fighting a bill over a graduated tax rate. And the proposal was defeated, which is to say you and your allies in that respect were victorious.
We resoundingly defeated the governor, and we did for one simple reason. And resounding is the right choice of words, too. He's not coming for just the rich, he's coming for everybody. The graduated tax bill in Illinois was just another mechanism to take more money from the hands of hardworking Illinois families and put it into the corrupt coffers of Springfield. And I know every person in this room would sign up for higher taxes if it meant reform of our pension plans and an end to corruption. I know every
Dude,
person
he
in
is
this
trying to
room
run for
would agree with
office.
that. And we have seen
Crypto being pumped again.
And I met with the governor on this very issue, and he talked about taking $50 million out of the IT budget. $50 million in a state that has a $240 billion problem. He lives in a different reality.
That's ironic.
I mean, if you look at this state, Exelon just got a $700 million bailout for
Is he
its nuclear
trolling?
fleet, having admitted
Dude, this
it was
whole
engaged in
area is
corruption.
He's running
Just a
for
few months
office
ago.
and
There is
trying to
no
live in
ends
Cuba
to the
at the
amount
same
of
fucking
corruption
time.
that takes place in Illinois, and it loses the credibility of Springfield and of the House of the governor. So Illinois has to put its house in order, and we've got to do it quickly because every single day that slips through our fingers, the liabilities get bigger and the ability to change course gets smaller.
He looks like fucking.
And I really
He looks like
hope,
shit.
and this is what kills me, J.B. Pritzker, Governor Pritzker, understands
Folks
the
wearing
math.
off.
He understands the issues.
Just
I
a fluff
can't
piece.
believe
This is
he
for nothing
won't
other
actually
than to
use
try
the
to
stunning amount of political
make
capital
people
he had
happy, his
to
investors.
fix the problem.
The truth of the matter, of course, Ken, is that for the time being and for all intents and purposes, the Democratic Party
I highly doubt this is live
controls
anyway.
politics in the state and the city.
Like
He would be. This
what
would
is
be
the future for
pre-recorded
that
already.
party,
They're
and
pretending
who
that it's
will
live.
you support
is just
in
this
the race
one
for
big
governor?
PR thing where the questions are already predetermined? 'Cause
Yeah,
there's no pressing questions.
Of course. Dude,
Yeah, okay.
Boss,
Yeah.
I know you're from Illinois. All this conversation has been is just regurgitated bullshit that we all knew was true anyway. Like, I've learned
Ken
nothing.
Griffin is he's so fucking out of touch.
One
He
was
actually
when we
thinks that
signed
he's making
NAFTA,
sense. He thinks that he's like with
one of the great
people.
accomplishments of North America.
Billionaire who makes $50 million
No one in
a
this room
month,
has
spends
ever woken up and
$26,000
said,
a
"I'm
month on
worried about going-"
groceries. He thinks that he understands the American people, the everyday people, when he equates us to the people on Michigan Avenue. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I think you're right, but at the same time, I don't think he's out of touch reality. I think he knows what he's doing, which makes him more of a psychopath. Like he
Well, he's
knows
an
what
absolute
he's saying.
sociopath, but that's besides the point. He is so out of touch that he actually thinks that he's right.
Well,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, all right,
like,
and not
yeah,
not to get too political here, but wasn't that the argument for Trump? Was he was a successful businessman? Wouldn't that be the same
Right,
argument for this
exactly.
guy?
That's what right, exactly.
100%.
Yeah, I don't want
I would
to.
say that there's much bigger differences between Donald Trump and this fucking crook right
Oh,
here.
I mean,
This
yeah,
is,
there is.
I don't know. They
much
both
bigger
took advantage
difference
of their
between people.
situations.
The difference is Donald Trump was popular with a lot of people. You can't say that anybody likes Ken Griffin.
Yeah,
Honestly, most people that aren't in our situation don't know of Ken Griffin, so that would be the other thing.
Yeah,
exactly. Nobody knows about him. Whereas Ken Griffin was a TV star. He's a billionaire. Whereas
you mean Trump?
Sorry, I said Donald. I meant Donald Trump. He was a TV star. Ken Griffin is a fucking hedge fund market maker, broker dealer, manager. Sorry, I said broker dealer, but he does everything to scalp off the top of Americans. Donald Trump, at least his business was directly correlated with other businesses. Although he did screw a lot of people with his bankruptcies. What was that, 3 or 4 of them? But that was legal.
Trump also made most of his money from the government. Initially.
Yeah, very true.
Whereas Ken Griffin has
Very
made
true.
hundreds of billions
So
off
does
the
this
backs of
guy.
Americans. Or should I say billions of dollars? Because
exactly,
they only got 35 billion assets under management, but are over leveraged to the tune of 240 billion, thanks to J.P. Morgan,
It's
Bank of
fucking
America,
nuts, dude.
and
When I
Goldman
saw
Sachs.
that, it was fucking nuts, dude. That's crazy.
He called my office, then he had to correct himself.
Doesn't want to perjure himself anymore.
What do you mean by out of touch? I mean, you couldn't relate to that story about his security detail getting carjacked?
Yeah, guys. Yeah, that's very in touch, isn't it, man? You don't get robbed. Your security detail gets robbed, right? They get carjacked.
Yeah, that's a regular thing here.
Yeah, what kind of security do you have that's getting carjacked anyway?
Yeah, in Chicago,
that's a
that's
pretty
a normal
shitty
thing.
security detail.
That's a normal.
Well, it ain't the old school Chicago gangsters, that's for sure. Those are the ones that rob him.
My mega bus broke down in Chicago. They swarmed it with police.
Yo, the Facebook domain is for sale?
No, Facebook is down. 1.5 billion
is
users'
down.
information
Yeah.
has just gotten sold on a hacker's website.
Yeah, but just look at the UnusualWhales.
All right, let's
The
check out the domain.
Facebook.com domain is for sale.
No way.
It just says this site can't be reached on my end, so maybe you're seeing something different.
At the Twitter, UnusualWhales. I'll post it in chat.
According to Walter Bloomberg, Twitter user @Delta1, he says Citadel Securities founder Ken Griffin says his firm does not trade cryptocurrencies because of the regulatory uncertainty around them. Citadel Securities founder Ken Griffin says that if cryptocurrencies were regulated, his firm would trade them. Aw, regulators in his pocket. What's going on here? Who knows?
Oh.
We can't cheat the regulations if they're not there.
Well, of course they can if the
Was he speaking in context
previous
of his hedge
head of the
fund,
CFTC
or
now works for Citadel.
was he speaking in context of his hedge fund or his market making fucking?
Yeah, I was gonna say he owns.
It sounds like he's talking
Morningstar,
about the hedge
so
fund because he only said Citadel Securities.
Which is that is their hedge fund.
Right, but that doesn't mean that they can't trade cryptocurrencies as a market maker as well. So,
Well, also
you're
through
absolutely right there.
Morningstar, that gives him the apex.
Through a holding company.
Yeah.
Professor Astro.
What's going on?
Professor Astro, one thing I have noticed with this guy, his color have turned to a roasted duck.
Oh shit. Whoa, looks like we're moving.
Which means that bananas have reached into his anus.
Keep talking shit, Mo Rat. We're moving.
Let's kick it in. Come
Ken
on,
Griffin
Kenny.
said, "quote unquote," "I'm trying to protect the American dream." Guys, do any of you believe that Ken Griffin is trying to protect the American dream? Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, so sweet, mother flower.
And the audience applauded.
Oh my fuck.
Facebook's domain is for sale right now. From Unusual Whales.
Promoting his own American dream, living in Montenegro or Spain, shooting animals and shit.
Sure as shit looks like that. Whining and dining people out there. Begging investors for liquidity, not to withdraw their money. You saw what he did back in 2008. Citadel didn't allow any of their investors to pull their money out.
Saw that. Fucking piece of shit.
They've only got like 20 investors, so, you know, they're all multi-billionaires, so that's not very hard to do, it seems.
These dudes deserve mayonnaise with banana in his anus.
Hey, was that true about Michael Jordan being down $500 million?
Yeah, it's been known for a while. It just resurfaced. It's not that he was betting against GME either. He gave his money to Melvin Capital to be invested. That's when you have billions of dollars, it's typically what you do is you hand it off to some firm or some fund, and you have them manage it for you so you can have it grow passively. That doesn't mean that he was knowingly taking a position against GameStop.
That's absolutely right. Michael Jordan sold a portion of the, I believe, was it the Charlotte, was it the Hornets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe he sold a portion of the Hornets to, the guy from Melvin Capital. I can't remember his fucking name right now because he's a tool bag, and I don't give a shit what his name was.
Yeah, fuck him.
That fucker, yeah. Flunkman or whatever.
Professor Astro.
Hold on.
So they already knew each other.
Go ahead, boss.
That's it. They already knew each other. And like you said, Michael Jordan gave Melvin Capital probably, $1 billion or more to invest because he needs somewhere to put it. He needs to make that money work for him. And they went ahead and lost over $500 million. So that's about a quarter of his net worth that he's built over his lifetime. He's the richest sports person ever in history.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Yes, Abraham, there's a lot of sites confirming the rumors of 1.5 billion Facebook accounts are hacked.
And the domain's for sale. Somebody literally got their hands on the fucking DNS of it. Round of applause.
How about investments?
Facebook is down 5%. Watch it turn red.
Professor Astro.
Ease.
According to this guy, saving American dream means that I'm gonna short a fucking company and fucking disclose and close that fucking company, beautiful company, and say fuck you and live on the fucking street, and that means for him I save American dream. Fuck you with the roasted and mayonnaise fucking banana in your anus.
Dude, my favorite part
Amen.
was when he said that I feel so bad for these small-time businesses that are struggling. Blah, blah,
Right.
blah. I'm like, oh yeah, is that why you short the shit out of them?
Well, that's how he got. That was his first big claim to fame. Was in college. He
I know, yeah.
opened a huge short position against a company going into bankruptcy, which is like that's what short
Black
selling is
Tuesday.
for. Don't get me wrong, But having that be your claim to fame and then turn around and say, yeah, well, we're really trying to enforce the American dream here, even if that means completely annihilating their public fucking evaluation because, well, you know, American dream.
That was Black Tuesday, right?
More fucking champions, baby!
And that's the funny part about that whole thing because people laugh at you if you short the market on Tuesdays. but yeah,
Apogee Dark Pool.
Yeah.
He's a narcissist.
Bro, I'm so a dumb student of Professor Astro, and I have a fucking sense of known as common sense in my fucking duck-headed brain, where it says that to save people you have to create jobs. How the fuck can you say I have a fucking saving American dream where you want to fucking shut down a company and fucking hundreds of thousands of people will lose their fucking jobs? How the fuck can you say that, you mother flower?
That's right.
Keep going, Mo Rat.
Goddamn shame. You look at it like this: the Biden agenda of pushing the vaccine mandate is really good for him because a lot of people are quitting their jobs or getting fired because they don't want to get the vaccine because there's been no long-term testing because it's just got released not even a year ago.
Well,
so you can't blame people for wanting to stab themselves and take an injection of something that they don't know if it's going to affect them or their kids genealogy many decades down the line. So Ken Griffin can short more companies that are going out of fucking business, and so should I say Citadel can, and so can other hedge funds, because there's going to be more companies going out of fucking business. You know, long on the pharmaceuticals, short on small business. It's pretty easy.
Very true.
Fucking
Very true.
money.
Should make that a quote.
And then a year ago, small business was closed, and only big corporations were allowed to operate.
Right.
Look at their mouths. Exactly the same. What the fuck?
Did they once ever show the audience?
No, they never showed the audience because there was no fucking audience. There was a couple of attorneys and some producers, probably.
Yeah, there was some silhouettes of some dude running around in the.
It was a guy like walking back and forth. Yeah, it's probably the same guy.
Same guy clapping.
Same guy.
That was a dude pressing the button on the left.
Dude, what a waste of time.
This time,
that was actually a huge waste.
He started
of time.
applauding in the middle of nothing for no reason, in the middle of a sentence.
Well, we got to feel what it's like to be 50.
I mean, you could tell that it was fake laughter.
Where was that supposedly filmed? Because Ken Griffin's jet landed at Midway Airport like 3 or 4 hours this morning around 10 o'clock in the morning in Chicago time.
That's a good question. What was the club called? The Economics.
The Economic Club of Chicago.
Well, the question begs to be: is that was he on that plane?
Does it matter? I mean, he's not going to drive. You know.
Of course not.
My point is, like, if it's in New York or LA, he's not going to drive there. But if it's supposedly live at noon or whatever, 12:30 Central Time, and this motherfucker's already back in Chicago at 10 a.m.
Did you see what Biden said? He said in the days ahead,
and his other jets
the retirement account.
I see what you're saying.
I mean, his plane can move without him, theoretically.
Sure, it can. But if he's in New York,
it was informing.
And his plane's in Chicago, why would his plane come all the way back and leave his ass over there? You think he's just going to stay in New York? Like,
He was not gonna do that. I mean, he has officers there, so.
Bruh, the fucking track record
Where
of
was it filmed,
people
though?
who have spoken at this.
Trying to find that now.
Club. Hold on, wait. Let me just say this real quick. Bono, Fauci, Lightfoot. Who else we got here? Bill Gates, and Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
It's just the richest of the rich. You know, that's all it is. They're
it's a
pandering to the
circle
rich,
jerk,
putting
it
it out
seems
there.
like.
Rich motherflowers take their money and go to fucking tax heavens, or they eat roasted duck, first of all. And second of all, they fucking make known as foundation of fucking trusted duck. And with that fucking foundation, they fucking save millions and billions of fucking dollars, and a fucking common man fucking dying or living on a street, we don't fucking even have access to fucking healthcare. And you fucking say me I save American dream? Fuck you with trusted ducks.
Get him.
Woo! Dude, and
That's
you
my
know what's
morale.
funny is Ken's not even on here. I don't see him. Here, I'll send this link.
Where are you sending it to?
DD and Theories.
Econ Club Chai or whatever.
Yep, that's it. I don't-
I'm looking on it now. It looks like that website's not updated until after they speak, which is odd.
So I have a friend who works with Facebook who is saying that he found out what it was. It's a patch that some FB employee uploaded that caused all the servers to stop talking to each other. It can't be fixed on a wide scale. Every single DC will have to roll back the patch by themselves. At least that's
So what does that mean? Does that mean that Facebook's gonna be down all week?
Did you say it was an old patch that they had used?
No, like it's a new. I guess there's a new patch. Something fucked up, and now everyone has to roll back a patch themselves.
Each end of Mira has to roll back.
Okay, but how does that explain WhatsApp and Google and Amazon? Like, what's happening?
Now
in-
that I don't know. That I don't.
Red
know.
October.
He just this is my friend who works along with Facebook, and this explanation I'm getting.
Yeah, I hear what you're
Google
saying. I'm
AI,
just
the
wondering
Matrix
because there's
is
other outages too, you know. So like,
Mm-hmm.
is there some bigger thing going on?
It's the Squid Game. They're getting all of our information.
Hey, Kurt.
See the Google.
Yeah.
LinkedIn does have a release 1 week ago. Says
I
members
got
have
some
registered for Ken
friends,
Griffin's luncheon on
at
October
Facebook.
4th. So
One
it
at
does
a
look like it was
time,
in
one at a
Chicago and
time.
it was today.
There you go. Okay, so that makes sense that his jet would be arriving in the morning to Midway Airport a few hours before this.
Yep.
Thanks for looking that up. It's interesting stuff.
Professor
And yeah, I
Astro?
was thinking because his other jet is in London because his ex-wife probably took that shit in the divorce because he's a scumbag.
She probably knew what she was doing, though. Kudos to her. Get that
Yeah,
money,
that
boo
peop-
boo.
In the people in the chat, Professor Astro says, pumpkin is paid. I'm not pissed, man. I'm a common man, and my voice will always be raised for a common man, as long as I'm the student of Professor Astro. This is what he thought.
Amen.
That's my Mo rat. That's my Mo rat.
Dude, and Ken Griffin saying Chicago's like Afghanistan on a good day. Holy fuck, dude! Like when he said
What
that,
a
I'm
fucking
like,
tool,
dude,
huh?
I live,
What a
dude, I live
tool.
in Chicago, and I'm like, what?
All right, yeah, I've never walked down the street in Chicago. Like it's pretty dangerous sometimes, but you know, I'm not even.
Was he talking about like 2000s
Dude,
Cabrini Green?
Want to know why he's worried? Because he's a rich fucking. He can't relate. He can't
He's
walk
a
down
target,
the street without worrying
yeah,
about
yeah.
getting
Dude,
fucking
I
jumped.
was,
Yeah,
You know,
he's
I
a
was
target.
just-
I was literally just there, and I'm like,
People
yeah, this
know.
is fine. I'm having a good time, you know.
Hey, and to be honest, to the fucking people that are working at Citadel listening right now, fuck you. It didn't work.
Yeah, dude.
Wah, wah, wah.
Fuck them.
Maybe if we just persuade them, they'll change their minds and sell their stocks.
Yeah.
I think everybody in the
Everything that
chat should
guy
leave an
said are our
eggplant.
daily headlines.
Everyone in the chat should drop an eggplant for Ken Griffin and Jim Cramer.
I
For
don't feel bad for anyone or anyone even now. If even you are fucking still sleeping and saying that this guy is right, go fuck yourself because you are fucking under influence and brain fucking washed, okay?
Everything Ken Griffin said was our daily headlines. Nothing new.
Very true.
And he ran to write all that down on a notepad.
Of course he did. He probably read them on the airplane, all these, or had somebody read them to him.
I mean, if you're
Man,
testifying in
remember
front
when
of
he almost got
Congress
right?
and you have 8 people in the room with you and a teleprompter, I wouldn't be surprised.
And notes.
He almost fucking.
Not at all.
I mean, I just don't know how we can like. I mean, I know we don't see him as a reputable source, but obviously these people do. Like, this guy's a corrupt hedge fund manager that is literally digging American companies into the ground, and we're worried about what he cares about our future. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, he's already painted us as conspiracy theorists. He's trying to take the other side of the trade on that right now.
Yeah, and then he's doubling down on the whole vaccine mandate and work stuff. That's pretty scary.
Don't say it's scary, dude. This guy can't do shit.
Well, he
Does it look like Blagojevich?
Well, I mean, if that's in his best interest, then whatever those conspiratorial powers that be that have made all this, I don't want to.
I have a simple question as a student of Professor Astro. A very simple fucking question. If a common man commits a fucking crime, he will not be fucking left even for the next 1 minute in his home or at his home or even on the fucking street. He will be taken to the jail. But a fucking rich man commits a fucking crime, they don't do any fucking shit. Why? Why, mother flowers? Why?
Because money is power.
I have this dream in my head that Pumpkin's actually like Ryan Cohen. And he's just hanging out in this Discord. This would have to be the greatest timeline ever.
Dude, that'd be so fucking funny. Holy shit.
I picture that with the squiggly eyes that he posted on his Twitter.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing, but also with the chopsticks in his nose when he did it. Oh, fuck me, dude. That was funny.
But yeah, Pumpkin, you're not wrong. I get what you're saying.
No, Pumpkin.
No.
Money talks, and the common man takes the fucking bus.
Now
equalency, bro. You have to be equal. I am not against the rich. Let them make money, but make money, wise money. Not fucking killing the poor or killing the fucking middle class and making money and acting like you didn't commit a fucking crime.
See, now you feel the fire in your belly.
Yes.
You guys see us moving up in power.
No. But it's a white collar crime. It's different.
Bro, because of this fucking white collar crime, my brother, we are fucking still facing so many fucking problems, and we have so majority of people are fucking brainwashed. They fucking literally need the roasted ducks in their ass, to be honest with you. I'm so pissed now.
Remember when Ken said
Fami's about to rip.
Said crypto
I've been
was
hearing that since.
I can agree with you, man.
Is it actually?
So does he want crypto to be a lendable security so he can short it?
Only thing I want to rip is Ken Griffin's pants.
Are you
And then
cover?
Wait a second. Yeah, look at D&D. 1 second, I'm gonna post something.
With days like today for AMC, where we just got shorted to shit into consolidation, do you think that they're trying to cover some shares like through this consolidation, or do you think they haven't covered like anything at all yet? I mean, obviously we did get some covering, but I mean, like during the days like this, do you think they're doing covering or?
I think they're taking out new positions.
Citadel has been
Same.
back. Citadel has been 100% back at work since June. What happened in June, guys?
True.
Man, everything looks the same today.
Price does not go down while they're covering and closing their position.
No, I understand that, but like you see these small rips we get up, like is that a part of them closing a good position and then just shorting it back
That's
down?
that's just volatility in the spreads. That's all.
You know what SEC stands for? Supporting everlasting corruption.
I just want to bring this up again. Ken looks terrible, like
Dude, that's what I
health
said.
wise.
He looks terrible, bro.
Like compare it. Like I don't even fucking watch this guy this much, but I even know he looks different.
Wouldn't
His
you if
hairline
you had
looks
boss
terrible.
blunts hanging over your shoulder?
Yeah, how
Keeping
old
keeping a lookout for your planes.
Yeah, I mean that would be terrifying.
Isn't he like only 55 or something like that?
Nancy shorted his adrenochrome.
Yeah, because he looks like shit, dude. I think
He's
like only in his
52.
50s. Yeah, bro. He looks like shit, dude. That dude looks like fucking dog shit.
He looks like he's been pulling the hair out of his head.
He's like 5 years younger than me. He does look terrible.
Dude, I showed my dad the picture, and he said, he's like, wow, dude, he looks like shit. Like, how old is he? Is he like 80 something? I was like, no, he's like 50.
I mean, he's probably been getting 4 hours of sleep for the last couple months.
Fucking awful.
Yeah, didn't you hear? His fucking car almost got jacked.
He had to fly back to Afghanistan. I mean, Chicago.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. Fuck,
Sorry,
it's so
my mistake. I
disrespectful.
get them confused all the time.
No,
Easy,
legit.
man.
Like, look at this interview and compare.
Be one of them.
This was 3 years ago.
Yeah, bro, I know. It's fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts.
Damn. That guy is so disrespectful.
Even compare him to earlier this year, bro. It doesn't even look like the same dude.
It's
Dude.
crazy what happens when you live with your skeletons, right?
Yeah, bro.
Cocaine, it's a hell of a drug.
Don't do math, kids.
Okay.
That's the, you know, it made me laugh when he said, I love my job. And I'm like, dude, you look like fucking shit.
He might like his job, but he hates his life right now.
Yeah.
So fucking true.
I don't know. I think that he might be a smug psychopath that thinks he's all above it all still. We hope that he thinks he's still in control.
People are memeing this so hard already. Fuck yeah.
Are we moving?
Can we make Ken Griffin looks like shit trend?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
Check DD and theories.
A sweaty vein, dude. Yeah. It looks like absolute shit, dude.
With the vein out of his head. Oh shit.
Reminds me of that meme of the guy who's like sweating and shit. Like
Geez, Facebook is still down.
I play soccer with them.
Dude,
He's
so
lost
fun.
now and 5%.
I have Hispanic friends. I play soccer with them. Yo, this is good.
That was funny as fuck. Oh, I'm gonna put 100 on that. There you go.
Dude, everyone's saying the same shit.
Yeah, what's the trending gonna be right now? Choke on that? That's still going on?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I like how Adam said that.
Yeah, oh, I laughed
Dude,
I laughed so hard.
You
Oh,
can
man.
use Oculus because Facebook is down and you have to sign in with Facebook. That's bullshit.
Apparently Craigslist having troubles too.
You said Craigslist?
Never mind. It's working for me, but one of my friends said they can't make a posting right now.
Possibly if they used Facebook to authenticate their sign in.
Do you think there will be a major dip before we rip? Sort of like VW in 08?
We normally have that. The reasoning for that is if you're in a massive short and you want to cover, then if you see a big dip, that's your opportunity to jump in. Especially if before that movement, someone sees that the stock is at a point where it's gone up really high, and they want to jump in on a short, then if they slam it with shorts, that might be the other end of the opportunity for someone who's trying to close out. And if the timing's right, then you have two sides who one wants to jump in really aggressively and one wants to get the fuck out really aggressively. Just kind of how it goes. Free bird. I'm just taking a breather for a second. You got some fucking water. How y'all doing? No breathing so you play Sleepwalker by John. Clapton? Fuck. Fuck. How does it go? Nope. I'm trying to ear out Layla. Oops. This is a Chipson. Had it built 3 years ago and just did a bunch of work to it. My train? Does anyone else palm mute, or not palm mute, do harmonics with their fucking palm? This was how I think the way that I picked up on this was it was just out of, I did it on accident one day, and then it was just kind of how it came to be for me. Like, use your pick thumb? I have no idea how to do that. Yeah. Pinch? Yeah, I have no idea. That's how Eddie did it? Yeah, I've never I just figured out recently you can do this. Not palm muting. I know, like, palm muting, yeah. But when I do pinch harmonics, I use my palm. Spy shitting itself. Yeah. See what we do here. The fuck's going on here? Red line is GME, and then AMC I'm going to change to yellow. Was that the dip before the rip? How's the fractal looking, or is everything just random now? No. No. That's not what fractal theory postulates. Right now, everything looks like what it was from like May 21st to whatchamacallit. Everything from the June run up, from June, late May to now looks like an extended, elongated version of what happened in just from May 12th to May 21st. I'm trying to preserve the detail of all the candle movements. And get pulled down. 1, 2, 3. And then looks like there's different ways you can interpret it. Like being pulled down right here looks like everything from within here. I wish I had more candles to go back to. I don't know. I'm waiting for more data. But no, I mean, it's still 110% still in effect. If you go to like, do this, we'll go to the 30-minute chart. This entire iceberg movement right here. This looks a little bit more, what do you call it? This looks a little bit easier to recognize. But going back to late May, Here you go. Yeah, it's overdue. It's way overdue. Here's what the chart looks like if you were to plot out volume instead of price. Look at from January. Like, you can see just how much it goes back and forth. The net movements of these are fucking pitiful. This is literally, this is your volume going back and forth. Whenever it's dead like this, that's when you have trading that's pretty much just wash trading, is to me what it looks like. But it's constantly respecting this moving average, which is across 22 days, I think. It's an EMA. And then look at what we're doing now. And then after it had that first, you'll call this the first contact point. This was our first contact point. But look how much longer it's taken for it to have any movement. Ashton, when do you realistically see the squeezing? How long will the squeeze last? How high do you see it going? I'm guessing you're talking about Moass. I'm not sure. I really don't. Any of the things that I speak on, rarely do I ever make any form of prediction or forecasting of the Moass movement. Everything that I'm doing and have been doing is related to the squeezing cycles that are taking place and how they propagate in a fractalic manner. And eventually one of those leads to the Moass, is what I believe. So to answer that question in terms of the cyclical squeezing rather than the Moass, this next one, I've been saying it's going to happen for like almost a month now. And if you look back to when we had that first movement here in May, where it bounces off the volume-based moving average, it was from May 13th. So 2 weeks after that, right, is when it flew. And I've been calling for this since late August, and we had it here. And then after that, it's just been going sideways. So going into now where, let's see, August, September, October, so almost a month now, right? So I made the call here. It should have happened somewhere at this point, but we're all the way over here. So it's been frustrating, but nonetheless, it just goes to show that there's manipulation going on, and it's just waiting to play out. Could you check DM on Twitter? I will, yes. So it's a pain in the ass, but you just when you recognize the magnitude of what's to come, the frustration of not being 100% right or 90% right or 80, whatever the fucking metric is, it really loses the bite that it normally has. Because this, to me, financially, that's not where the value in this is for me. Like, everybody's in it to sell. That's the inevitable. Everybody's selling so they can live the lives that they want to live and not have to be tied down by their rent payment, their car payment, their phone payment, whatever it is. And that's where recognizing that the price is going to come no matter what gives me a lot of solace. What has also helped is that I view this as more of like a science experiment now, and have for almost 6 months. And this is just observations of what the price is doing. The price isn't what... The price as a number or some monetary thing isn't what it is to me, that it is for most. This thing is worth $1 million to me, whether it's sitting at 30 or if it's sitting at literally $1 million. I don't know what it's going to go to. To me, though, that's essentially what the net result of it will be. As far as watching it every day and live streaming it and putting out my theories to it, the price is irrelevant as far as a dollar sign. The only point of relevancy that the price has to me is, does it abide by the predictions that I have and that the rest of the brilliant minds here have? We're not worried about the thing going to zero. We're not worried about the thing being tugged to the ground. We know it's not going to happen. If they could have done that, they wouldn't have let it run to $80-some. On top of that, I made a video 3 months ago now called The Pattern of Manipulation. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I've had thousands of people, literally thousands of people, say, I can't unsee what you put on in that video, which is how this entire thing just continues to replicate itself over and over and over and over. It's being actively manipulated. It's being actively controlled. The mechanics at which are being used to exploit this relate to order flow routing, short interest, exploitations in the derivative chains like options. You have thousands of people who are actively trying to dig into this thing. So the price doesn't mean anything to me. I don't think the price is what it should be. I don't think that the price or the charts reflect what the true sentiment is of those who hold part of an equity sharing within AMC and GameStop. And God only knows how much this has plagued other companies. Some of these companies didn't even get to make it to this point. Some of these companies no longer trade on the NASDAQ or the NYSE because they did get seller boxed. They did get pulled down to zero. They did get tugged to the ground. The sheer ferocity and passion and care that the shareholders have of these companies is what allows for it to proliferate and continue to be. And I think that the hole that was dug by a bunch of nefarious, irresponsible, large money entities has bit them in the ass. I don't think it's recoverable for them. There's no way they can dig themselves out. All they can do is just continue to kick the ball or kick the can over and over and over and over and over and over. And that's it. And every single day, there's another piece of regulation. There's another wave of enthused investors. There's another wave of good news. There's another wave of fundamental improvement of these companies. So the only thing that those caught with their pants down on this can do is kick the can. But the other side that is squeezing them out of that is every day getting stronger and stronger and stronger, whether it's fundamentals, whether it's the shareholders' enthusiasm, whether it's the company's performance as a whole, it doesn't matter. They can't do anything. They literally, like, they are... Anybody who tried to seller box these companies, they have no ammo left. All they can do is fire and then pick up the fucking bullet casings and try to reload little bits of gunpowder into them. That's it. That's it. That's all they can do. Meanwhile, the longs and those who care for these companies have... I don't even know where to start. You know, there's... You got more artillery coming, more mortar strikes, light machine guns. Fuck, I think at this point with the balance sheet and the debt that was just paid off by AMC, we're fucking stepping into like the territory of lasers. This is a battle that has a very self-evident result that is inevitable. And all it is time, and that's it. The cyclicality and the fractals and all of this, whether you see it or not, doesn't matter. Whether you believe in it or not, it doesn't matter. Science and facts and math and numbers don't care about what you believe or don't believe. I'm actively working on data analytics. Fuck. The YouTube stream still up? Still alive? We good? That's frustrating as fuck. Did anyone call the June run up? Run up? Fuck, words. Did anyone call the June run up? I did. Let me refresh the chat. Yeah, here's a tweet that I made on June 1st. I'll refresh the page before any fucking idiots are like, oh, you did inspect element. Or is Twitter bugging now? That's great. That's fantastic. Love it. Amazing. Yo, Daniel, thank you, brother. Wish I had water. Fuck!
I feel like this is just like the information from Epstein because it like dismisses everything in America. I haven't seen
there
like any information.
There is kind of like a conspiracy where it's like we were just about to uncover the biggest elite pedophile ring in history.
Okay.
And then a fucking pandemic, like a pandemic that killed like what, 0.06% or something of the population.
So it's all based around Epstein.
I don't fucking know. I mean, I think there's just a lot of rich people that were involved that didn't get caught. And the only reason they didn't get caught is because they created a diversion of some sorts. This is something that I read recently that's just obviously no facts could really corroborate it. But what are you saying is tied to Epstein in this?
Oh, I'm just saying that there was a lot of information to unpack from that whole situation, and if somebody wanted to create a big enough distraction, then they could have leaked that information. It just seems odd that we haven't heard anything about the U.S. yet.
I hate to be a buzzkill, but we are live.
We totally are.
That's why I made that joke.
That's all conspiracy, as we know.
What's up, bro, Astro?
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing.
Fucking Astro's doing so fucking good. God damn.
Some DD.
You want to talk about some real shit? Motherfucking fractals in my mind. I can't stop fucking, can't stop thinking about them.
Fucking water. Jesus Christ.
Chad.
Whoever said the 11 trillion dollars held offshore was actually right. I'm reading about it now. You're actually correct, by the way.
Yeah, if anybody can find a downloadable link and then upload it, I would love to sift through that.
Yo, Kerry Fox donated $10 via Cash App. Thank you so fucking much. I'm just now seeing this. Thank you. Thank you. I fucking hate... This is gonna be really pompous. What the fuck? YouTube pays me monthly. And I wish I realized that before making the huge switch between jobs. And they take fucking like 33% of everything. That's so fucked. Word of AWS services having problems as well. Yeah, that's my fear is it's not common knowledge as to how much of it's not common knowledge as to how much of all of our everyday services like Twitter, Facebook, Google, anything that's down right now. Like, yeah, you have content distribution networks, aka CDNs, but the primary... I'm trying to not use tech lingo. The primary... the primary center where all of the information is held. David, what's up? Yeah, join the Mill Squad server. We're in AMC. The primary avenue for which all of these major operations happen is pretty much a monopoly. It's all under AWS. Amazon Web Services. Even sites that don't, or what you would think don't have any affiliation with Amazon at all use AWS. They are the fucking center of just about everything. I want a Discord all over you right now. Oh, shit!
Should source it through, because you can still, like, I could have.
You said
you
OBS
guys
though.
and- yeah, but it goes through OBS. You have to set the settings in OBS.
Yeah, so now he's not deafened or muted.
Do you want to know something weird? When you look at this level 2 data before you got this big short signal on AMC, it was the WBPX and FLTG market makers. They bracketed certain orders and made the signal to drive the price down.
What?
Yeah, look into WBPX and FLTG.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
There's
Who
a
am I?
$20,000 or 20,001 size sell wall at 37.30.
Here, I posted it in DD. Before that, you know how Keith talked brackets and them price fixing and sending signals for their algo to move the price. That's what you see. You saw them create some brackets for that particular price point that it got driven down to.
Ah! Well then.
May want to keep an eye on them. They're
Astro.
probably in on the short.
Bro, he didn't even hear it.
Huh?
Wait, I think they can still hear me. Fuck.
You fucking retard.
Did they literally just run the whole entire day, the first 2 hours of pre-market? Is that what they did?